Well, 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 well. Look at the headline. Look at the headline. Look at the headline. It's a very, very happy jazz. We're going to give it a few minutes for people to join in the chat and catch up. But we are top of the table. West Ham United, top of the table. 4 matches played, three wins and a draw, and it's looking good. It's looking good, and there's only 2 other occasions. I'll give it a couple of minutes before I start barking on, but yeah, there's only a couple of times I can remember. Glenn's on it straight. Glenn's on it. Listen, what I love about the channel and the people that watch it, they're all like me, innit? We won top of the table, but we quickly find the nitbit things to have to kind of think about that we can further improve, isn't it, mate? You guys are all the same like me. I've got a few nitpicks to go through, mate. I've got a few things to go through that we need to improve on, Glenn. You're absolutely right, mate. And what, we got 50 minutes left? But listen, top of the table, unbeaten. Goal difference of +5, 10 points. And just give it a couple of minutes. Let them join in, mate. Pam's in. Pam's on board. Pam, you know it, mate. You know it, Pam. At Luton Town, especially, yeah. Actually, funny stat again. I don't know where I get these stats from, but listen, it's before I can remember being a West Ham fan. I'm not that bloody old, but apparently, when we won the old, what was the old second division championship in around 81, we hardly lost any games, Pam. Apparently, Luton were one of the clubs we couldn't beat home or away. I think they beat us or something like that. So Luton has always been, yeah, not so easy, especially on the old plastic pitches. And we'll go into it. I mean, listen, Luton, the fans did them proud. I think it's a great atmosphere. They've done really, really good. So we just got to give it the old, say well done where it's needed. But you're right, Pam. Absolutely right. But yeah, Mark's in it, matey. Cheers, mate. Run out of Bacardi, mate. So I'm on the old Scotch whiskey. Bit of smoky Scotch whiskey I'm on. With a bit of Coke. So I've got to be careful because Bacardi's only 37.5% ABV alcohol. When you touch the whiskies, they start from 40%. So they get me a little bit extra. John's on there. Johnny boy. John, get in there, mate. John's got me to $1.99. That'll pay for my sausage and batter, mate. Had a nice fish and chips today. I like to go off track. So on a Friday, actually every day, a local chippy between 11:30 and 2 to do fish and chips, sausage, batter and chips, pine chips, $5.99 everyone. $5.99. Can't go wrong with that. But John, thank you very much for your donation, my man. And we're all happy. We're going to delve in a bit of history, like Pam started me already on the Luton Flex. I was going to say, I can only remember a couple of times good start like this. One is right at the beginning of my journey as a West Ham fan, which was 1983-84. I was not even in the country then. I was away on a holiday. When I came back, I was only about 8 or 9. We were top of the table, mate. We had played 5, won 5. Oh, it was amazing to look at that table back then, John. And the second time that we did well, we weren't top of the table, but it was 97. And again, I was out of the country in Canada on holiday, and it was kind of when we had, what's his name? Hearts and Kits and Lomas and all those guys, Rio Ferdinand coming in. That was kind of the other time, mate. Gingy's joined me. Gingy, you all right, mate? How you doing? You all right?
I've got one thing to say, Jay. One thing to say. Being champions and top of the league.
Good, isn't it? Good, mate.
I brought out a Prosecco, and I. Get the sun for that. Top of the league, mate.
It's really good. Gingy's joined me. Gingy, I'll get back to you in a minute, mate. But let me quickly go for the chat. John, we're really, really happy. And I was saying there's only a couple of occasions I can remember. When I was really young, 8 or 9, 83, 84, we won the first 5 games in that league that time. And then the Hearts and Kits and Lomas time, 97, we nearly beat Man United at Old Trafford. We were in the top 3, top 4. That was kind of really good starts. I remember Glenn saying we are the champions. Pam reminded us that Luton have been a pain in the backside for West Ham like Brighton in the past. I'm going to quickly go through the chat, and then we're going to go through everything, mate. And like the channel is, like you and me are, mate, there is a few bits nitpick. There is a few bits I'm going to nitpick, as always. You know, as always, the type of fans we are, mate. Apache's on there, run time with Jazz. Hope you're doing well, mate. Hope you're doing good. I tell you what, John, spam fritter, mate. I'm all right with that. My kids take the piss saying, Dad, that's World War II food. But I had it once in the chippy, right, many years ago. I thought it was all right. Listen, it ain't the greatest food in terms of good for you. It's oily. But I was all right with it. And I'll ask Ginger in a minute. I don't know how many chippies have got that on their menu. It is an old school food. I get it. Top of the league, Cosmos. Ginger, for me, yeah, played for 1-3 draw. First, can you remember a better start than this, top of your head, mate? I know we played an extra game, but listen, we were second anyway, having played the same games as everyone else. And the fixtures have been tricky, mate. The first Luton away game, Brighton, it's tough. Chelsea away, mate. You know, I know I'm going to get naturally greedy. We should have beaten Bournemouth, innit, mate? They equalised, was 79th minute, innit, Bournemouth, innit? 1-1.
100% lapse in concentration, wasn't it? We were the better team overall, and we should have took all 3 points. But on the contrary, I mean, a lot of people, a lot of fans were saying we need to win the first game because we don't know when our next points are going to be from the next 3 games after that. And if you'd said to any West Ham fan before the season kicked off that you'll be unbeaten, or not even unbeaten, you'll take 6 points from the first 4 games, I think they would have snapped your hand off. I think they would have probably expected Bournemouth and Luton to get you off 6 points.
Before we get into the game, we haven't signed anyone today, and I haven't had a look. I had a look a couple of hours ago. I thought we were going to get Kostic over the line, and that would have been good on either flank. I think we need that. We do need a backup up front, a proper striker. I know Tony's done so well over the years, but sometimes he needs a bit of a break. And we were kind of linked with 1 or 2 players there, mate. So yeah, a little bit of a quiet end to the window. I was looking at how much we spent, Ginge, top of my head, mate. So we got 105 full rice, which obviously we will get 34 million in 3 installments, mate. And we've spent about 115 top of my head. So still room for more expenditure. There was rumours that mate Cornet was going to go out. Ings was going to go. Ben Johnson was going to go. Fornells was going to go, mate. So what's your feelings on the window and today, mate?
Fornells to Spain, I think it was. And Ings out on loan, I heard. But that's obviously not going to happen, is it? Ben Johnson, I thought we was going to get rid of.
You're breaking up a bit, mate. You're breaking up. Yeah, you're breaking up a bit with
Antonio to Saudi. Can you hear me now?
Much better, mate.
Yeah, so obviously you've got the Antonio to Saudi Arabia. You got Cresswell was rumoured to leave the club. So there was quite a lot of outs, especially at the beginning of the summer. We didn't know who was going to go, who was going to stay. Obviously, El Bonner, players like that got given another contract. Suchek got given another contract. But I think we need to hold on to our players. For once, we need to get more players in than West Ham let go. But getting Rice, getting under him. Do you know what I'm going to say? I haven't said this on camera. I think we played our cards too early. And I think Rice was very cheap. If you look at the likes of Casado, Brighton held out for 115 mil. We could have held out for 115, 120. I think that's what we should have got for him.
Yeah, but I think our payment terms are very aggressive. We're going to get the money quicker, I think, than Brighton going to get it. And we had to give ourselves... What I don't understand, Ginger, is why we wait for the money to come in before we start spending it. We waited. We couldn't do anything. We lost Barnes, didn't we? We went Newcastle. His deal was agreed verbally in April. Then we... Yeah, but Yeah,
As
but
you
I'm
know, that was my number one target for West Ham. I'd have loved Harvey Barnes at West Ham. Something that we need. He's direct, he's quick, he can score goals, he can assist. So he was my number one target, to be fair. And we've known, let's be real, we as fans have known for 18 months, at least a year, at least 12 months that Declan Rice was going. So the club definitely
yeah.
know that. Why have you not lined up anyone sooner? Um, so it was a bit of a squeaky bum moment in the early part of the summer transfer. But we've sorted it now. Better late than never. Typical West Ham. Leave things to the last minute. David Sullivan probably sitting there going, "Oh, we'll play some games with the fans, shall we?" But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's good to see that he's actually not pocketed the money, because I had fears. We've obviously what happened with Gold earlier on in this year. He was probably thinking, "I've got to get out. I've got to sell up." But he's waiting for that stadium. And I was thinking that he was going to try and pocket a lot of the money. But fair play to him. He's put it back into the club. He's made us a stronger squad.
Yeah, better team now, I think. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Obviously, barring Rice, definitely a better squad, and then arguably a better starting 11. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go through the comments anyway. Yeah, Cosmos. Yeah, a bit weird, mate. Kudos came on. Yeah, with 5 minutes to go. Very, very weird. John saying welcome, Ginge. John Vinay saying title decide. Listen, mate. We the tougher the opposition, the better we play. So, but at least we've got a cushion of nice points in the table, and we're going into that game with hopefully fair amount of confidence, I think. So that's what counts. Luton, yeah, Mark, I think, yeah, the ground is so old school. I think some of the younger fans have probably never seen a ground like that. I'm quite used to QPR and Luton being like that, and yeah, hard. And they kind of held in there. They were all right. Just, yeah, a bit of the quality finishing wasn't quite there for them, but we were all right on the day. We're obviously going to go through the game in more detail. At the moment, we're just pouncing about, going for the window, and yeah, I'm always greedy. I love signing, so and then I'll go through honestly what I always think that we need improvement. You know what I'm like. I'm never bloody happy anyway. No way, Ultra, hope you mate. No way should anyone dominate a game like that and have to hang on. Ultra, I don't think it was. I think possession-wise, yeah, we got more possession, but I think Luton were always kind of in there for me in terms of, you know, they did good set pieces, corners, all that kind of thing. They were in there, but mate, when it was 2-1, my heart said it's going to be 2-2 now. I mean, we're going to, yeah. I mean, Ginge, did you see the replay of the Ward-Prowse hit his arm, didn't it, mate?
Yeah,
that could have been given, mate. So we'll kind of be happy with that, mate.
50p, 20p. My backside, mate. I tell you, when I've seen that handball, I thought his arms are out here.
Yeah,
I've seen a penalty given for less than that, and I was sitting there saying, no, that's not a penalty, because of what I've seen recently about a player's arm was away from his body, but him being so close and took a deflection off someone and they've not given it. So I thought, here's the consistency. We'll see. That can't be a penalty because of what I've seen previously. But every time the ball hits someone's arm, you're always like, ooh. So,
I'll tell you what, John's... Yeah, it's all right. I mean, John, if I start from the beginning, I'm going to your comment now. I mean, Souček wasn't playing due to, obviously, concussion. And my comments on him, mate, Ginger, I'll bring you in a minute, but my comments are, I don't think Souček's going to start anymore going forward. He's not going to be starting position for West Ham. He's going to be on the bench, which is a good kind of role for him. But going forward, I'm going to find it difficult for him to get a starting position. And for me, I think that's about right for him. I think when you look at Alvarez, when you look at Paqueta, you look at Ward-Prowse, he ain't getting in front of them three, mate. That's my feeling. Kudus obviously was on the bench, which was a surprise for me, knowing Moyes. Even though Kudus is fit, he's scored a hat-trick the other week. And then, mate, I didn't realise that Reece Burke was in the back three for them. The old... He came through with Tompkins, didn't he, Ginge? Reece Burke, if you remember. Yeah, came through together, didn't they?
I think it was sort of correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was a sort of same era as...
Tompkins, wasn't it? Or not?
I
think he came...
a bit later. bit later than Tompkins. I thought he was with what's the mush
What
that
Colin? What Gabby Dunn and Collins time? That time you reckon?
no,
Is it?
no, that's no, because he'd be retired now, wouldn't he, Reece Burke, if that was the case. What's the matter with you, Jay? You've had too many rums, haven't you?
I think it's
Who's,
Tompkins. I could be
no,
wrong.
who's
I
the
thought
other
he came with
Reece?
Tom.
Who's the
Hmm?
other Reece who had a good game against Arsenal and then we let go? Defensive midfielder, could play centre back as well. What's the other geezer?
What, the one who plays for Burnley midfield? No. He came.
Sorry,
He's
that's
recent.
going to say it, mate, and I'm going to kick
But
myself.
anyway, Reece Burke, he was all right. Put his foot in a couple of times. Was all right. John, thoughts on Ben Rama, mate? Really pissed off with him, John. You know what I'm like. I don't give a shit. I'm really pissed off with him. I don't want him to shoot, mate. He ain't got it in him. And I know. Once in 10 games, he 25-yarder goes in the top corner. But for me, Ben Rama, I was saying to my son, he's playing for his position now. Kudus is going to grab his position, and Ben Rama for me could have done fair better. I think he hasn't got his shooting ability is. It's not very good for me, and he did a couple of things where he could have done a bit better. And I don't know. What do you think, Ginge? Like a lot of different opinions. Not for me,
Yeah.
mate, Benny.
Before I go on to Benny, Trini Hammers just said it there. Reece Oxford. That's one. It was in the same era as that. It came through with him. Old Reece Burke. But yeah,
For,
Benny. I don't know. He's a weird one, isn't he? Because he'll play well one game and then get his deserved start. And I think a lot of the attacking outlet came through him, especially in the first half. And you want to see Benny play that early switch like he did against Brighton to Bowen for Bowen's goal. You want to see that. And when Ben Rama done that against Brighton, that was a shock to me because I thought he normally tries and beats a man and then cuts back and starts beating him again. And he keeps hold of the ball, then he loses it. Or he's got no end product. But he went back to the Ben Rama that we know today. He should have just picked the ball up, 1-2 touch, looked to release it. Crossfield pass, switch a play, whatever, like he did against Brighton for Bowen's goal. So he's a frustrating character like that. But sometimes he can hold on to the ball, sometimes he does too much, and then he does too much, and then he's crowded out, and he's got no one within 10, 15 yards to play it to. So, yeah,
he's a bit like that, isn't he, mate? Gonna go back to the comments. Kudos, mate. What's his name? Callum Wilson is pissed off with Barnes at the moment, mate, because he's not releasing the ball. It's happening in 2 games now. He's come on. Gordon is playing out of the world, so he ain't going to get in there at the moment. Which it is what it is. But that is that thing to what? Yeah, that side to Barnes, isn't it, mate? He's gone greedy 2-3 times. I think Ginger Liverpool, Newcastle, and a couple of the other games. So Calvin's he's not happy with him, mate. Listen, I'll tell you one thing I've learned all these years following football is a funny old game, mate. And I am open every game I watch. Even today, anything could have happened. It's a very fine line, mate. Epic, hope you're doing good, mate. Mate, it is what it is. We'll never quite know why we can't get some deals over the line and how we do. But I tell you what, though, and I'm a bit weird. I don't know how. I don't know why Spurs have paid nearly 15 million for Johnson at Forest. I mean, for me, that's a big risk. He doesn't score. He runs up and down. He's fast. He's a winger more than a striker. They've got Richarlison at 53 million firing blanks. He makes me laugh all the time. Long may that carry on. But yeah, it is a tough window. Obviously, Salah. That's it, mate. That's it. John, you remember Benny Hill, mate? Benny Hill. I remember Benny Hill running around with all those naughty girls, mate. I remember Benny Hill, especially the little theme. Yeah, I mean, I think substitutions, Moyes has never understood it. I think you've got to... I mean, Luton put 4 people on after about 60 minutes. And he's obviously wants to close out the game again. And yeah, he brought Fornells on for Benny, which is like, all right, that's all right. I mean, Fornells didn't look too impressed. Danny Ings came on.
You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful, right? Luton were throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it because they know It's their first home game of the season, and let's be fair, they caused us some problems in small parts of that game. They made it very nervy for us. Whether we helped with silly decisions, dilly dallying on the ball, losing the ball in stupid areas, I don't know. But they pressurised us quite well, and I think that it's a very tight game for Moyes to change so much, if that makes sense. He could change 2, 3 players and ruin the whole system for the next 5, 10 minutes until they find their feet. And in that time, Luton could go and score one, and then all of a sudden their tails are up and they're looking for their seconds. So I think
I mean,
it's
yeah.
very difficult.
I think what I like to do normally is I keep notes of the whole game. So I'm going to go through the first half in a minute. But before I go into it, mate, one player, and I'm going to carry on, and I'm very concerned about Agard, mate. Couple of things going on in the game, mate. He's a big concern to me. He's all over the place in terms of understanding when tell the goalkeeper. Zuma for me is man of the match. He plays next to you, mate. Yeah, Areola. I know he missed one cross. It went through his hands, but Agard, mate, he worries me. He's all over the place, mate. I mean, if I quickly go through the first half, 8th minute, Emerson misplaces a clearance. Agard, yeah, misplaces a pass, gets nervous. Areola spills a cross after 30 minutes. Benrahma, 28th minutes, mate. I've put down a shit shot. That's just me. It's 36 minutes. Benrahma's shot doesn't go anywhere again. 41st minute, my comments saying Agard been shit. He's been bullied off the ball by one of their front two. He's been shoved him out the way. He didn't win the ball. Like when you're a proper centre back, you're in front of the striker. It's your ball, but he lost it. And then I've got clearly, someone nearly scored. Chong nearly scored from the corner. And then I put down half-time. Zuma's been... This is what I like, Ginger. I know football, modern football's all about the goalkeeper bringing the ball out and the centre-backs playing out from the back. But you cannot beat a solid out-and-out defender. Someone who reads the game. He never looks lost in no man's land. He's always in the right place. Zuma, mate, tell me, Ginge, proper man of the match, mate. Got a goal. Because I'm not that flattered with our back four. When I look at Kafal, I look at Emerson, I look at Agard, it worries me. I know they play their hearts out every game. Good lads. It worries me. New goalkeeper at the back, but Zuma, he's the glue, isn't he, mate? Keeps everyone together.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I see a comment there. Gwen is either woeful or man of the match material.
No, he's been awful every game, mate. I ain't going to say awful. He's been shaky, mate, every game. He's been shaky every game for me.
I'm him on one of these points. And one of these points that you're going to make, or that you're probably thinking of, is for me, is the goalkeeper's issue. The one where they put the ball over the back four on the 6-yard box and it almost falls to, I think, was it Adebayo? Or was it other striker? And Aguerd leaves it. Now, for me, you're all right. You could say, if you don't hear a call from your keeper, get rid. He's expecting, what his bloody name there? Areola, the nipple. He's expecting the nipple to come out and claim it. As a goalkeeper, you should be coming out and claiming it, regardless. Even if you're already committed and your defender's there, just go through him. Make sure you claim that ball.
Well,
especially 6-yard.
56th minute, I've written down communication, a mix-up between Agard, and it's not the first time Agard Areola had a mix-up. I don't know how Luton didn't score on a couple of occasions where I don't know what the hell Agard's thinking, and then he's like, I don't know, someone's got to have a word with him, mate. He's a half-decent defender, but this season, in all the games he's played, Agard's been, I don't know, defensively, whoa, mate, pulling my hair out. What are you doing some of the time? Benny is a very good sub. He would be a very good sub, mate, Cosmos.
Is the fact that we've got Areola in goal for this season now, is it the fact that they're not really used to him that much? Like, you could argue that he played European football with him. But you've got the fact that Aguerd is not really used to it in the Premier League. And the whole back four is not really used to him, really, to be fair.
But did you? The one thing I
Um,
noticed, mate, was, and I could be wrong, is that our fullbacks, when they've got the ball, they don't go down the wing and try to take on their defenders. What we did so many times, kept passing it sideways and backwards continuously. And I know that kind of worked in the end. It was professional. It kind of frustrated Luton, but I just felt sometimes where it happened so often where we just kept on passing at the back that we don't have the Chelsea type fullbacks that are young, full of energy, the Chilwells, the Reece James and people like that, and the Newcastle lads, Gordons and Trippiers and all them lot, where just go down the wing, mate, attack. I just want that a bit more. Whereas, yeah, we are playing quite safe. It's working. It's suiting us. We're used to it now. And just that kind of thing. I don't know what you think about that, mate. Do you want your fullbacks to be a bit more aggressive, like properly attack, mate?
Yeah, 100%. I think obviously they were probably aware of the threat tonight from Luton. We, like me, I personally thought they were going to cut at us tonight, being obviously the first Premier League home game. Maybe they were told that by Moyes. Maybe they felt that themselves. But Soufal normally does it. He normally gets up there, overlaps, receives the ball.
Oh, he was all right in a lot of yeah. Kufal done. What I like about our fullbacks is give you 100% in there, mate. 100%. Those are boys.
Emerson,
yeah.
You know, his attacking prowess is a lot better than his defensive work. And you expect that from Emerson, but he wasn't up there today. He wasn't up there supporting as much. Well, he got his goal and it got chalked off for offside with Antonio receiving the ball first. But Soufal, he normally does that more times than not. And it was weird not to see the fullbacks there. But I think on the balance of it, looking at your opposition, the way they were playing quite aggressive as well. They were quite fast, quite strong. Their players were strong and physical. So I think they've done the right thing by just holding back a little. It can go.
I think Luton. Obviously, I love to see two people up front, and they had three centre backs. But it's every time I watch our team, it's probably for all the fans. It always seems like the opposition's got another extra player in there. I don't know why I think like that. It's either when they're attacking, there's so many of them. They had three on every one of our players. I think Luton did everything they could have, but what they can't match up with, mate, is kind of, a bit of finishing, bit of skill from Bowen, Paqueta. These people are like, they're worth 100 million. We've got so many of those players across the team. We've got big player on the bench. So Luton, I mean, I think they've done themselves proud. They're in the game for long periods. They could have nicked a penalty at the end, 2-2. And I like that. And what I like is, obviously, the worst thing to see, mate, is people that come up and just defend. You know, we've seen teams promoted. But all these new teams at the moment, they're giving it. And I think you got to give it, Ginge, because even Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, their defences are vulnerable as anyone else's, mate. You got to give it. And you got to get there. You can't. I mean, it's worked for us. The stats are shocking at Brighton and people like that, but it's worked. It's worked. Antonio, didn't get much in front of goal, did he, mate? He spent a lot of time on the wing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he went back to how he normally plays, just running the channels, doing the doggy work, as I like to call it, trying to pick up balls, trying to hold up play. I think they wised up to him. I think they got round him early, didn't allow him to settle on the ball, and they made it very, very difficult for us. And I think they've put that extra man in midfield to sort of crowd us out with our three in the middle. But I think they played like a flat three and just smothered us in the middle. And I think with their two wing backs bombing up and down, I think that's why it seemed like they had the extra man. Plus, obviously, the two strikers that were just crystallising our defence, and then the wide men joining in, and then they had three in the middle. So I think that's why it seemed like they had that extra man at times.
Yeah, let me go through the comments. So Benny, the thing with Benny Turk is he's good. He receives the ball. He doesn't lose it often. It's just that final finish, Turks. He's got to improve on his final finish. So often I've seen such a weak shot at the end of it, and I don't understand it. Where he blows it well over the top, but then out of the blue, for 25 yards, top corner. It confuses me how he's a good penalty taker, because in open play, his finishing is, I don't think is good enough. But I get what you get, mate. He's a good player on so many fronts, mate. Carter, mate, how you doing, mate?
Well, you do,
Listen, they ain't going to be West Ham. We're never going to be comfortable in our life, mate. We're always going to be at the maximum one goal, in the lead. It was, even Ginge got his Cuban cigar out after 4 minutes to go, and he quickly put it back.
mate. I did. I actually did. How do you know that? Because I didn't speak to you about that.
The thing with Bowen, mate, and again, I'm going to be honest, he's one of Klopp's favourite players, right? And Salah's going to go. He's going to go sooner or later. I mean, I don't know if you know, Ginge, like the kind of things they're offering in Saudi: 5 domestic cleaners, 3 sports cars, private jet, all your shopping and food paid for. I missed a couple of things out, and but it just goes on and on and on.
Mate,
And
did you see what Neymar demanded?
he's like that. He's bloody average, isn't he?
Mate, Neymar, I've never seen or heard anything like it. He asked for all this extra shit off the pitch. It's like, I mean, I can't. I'd love to even list off a few, but there were so many. My mind can't even comprehend it at the minute. But there was a whole list of things that Neymar demanded if he goes to Saudi, when he went to Saudi Arabia. It was madness. Plus, he was on like something ridiculous, like $1 million a year.
Yeah, Snazzy Azzy Cornet, there's something weird going on, mate. And there's really pisses me off, mate. Like, it's happened a lot. I know we're top of the league, but I don't get this is a really weird situation. You don't get that listen, we've done all right. We won a trophy, but it doesn't happen at any other club. One signing out of 3, no one speaks to them. They go missing. They're not even played. It's just a weird thing. It's happening a lot, mate. And Cornet's a half decent player. I know he's injuries and few things, but listen, I don't know. I don't know, Snazzy, what's going on, mate. I think he can offer a lot. It is weird, isn't it? You're saying the same thing, mate. Yeah. I think so, mate.
Cornet's rumoured to go to Everton, isn't he? So I'm wondering was he even on the sub bench?
I don't think so, mate. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But
so if he's not in the match day squad and he's fit, then that could be a little indication there.
Wait, what about Hudson-Odoi? 3 million fee and add-ons. What the shit's all that about? Going to, where did he go? Burnley or somewhere? Forest, isn't it? Hudson-Odoi, is it 3 million? Was it? Or the other one? I forgot. But some crazy things going on. The thing with Agard Ballon is he's very good spraying 20, 30, 40 yard passes out the back, which is a bit like Tony Gale used to do. But I want my defenders to defend first and do all that stuff later. And he's looked shaky like fuck. I don't know what it is. It's happened a lot, and then he looks like surprised, like he wants to have a go at Areola or Zuma. But when that ball goes in there, he's leaving it for him. He's leaving it for him. It's just weird. And I think Zuma's helped him out a lot. They all speak the same lingo. I don't know if that helps. I mean, I think they speak French on the pitch. I mean, it helps. I don't know. Code words. I don't know, mate. Oggy, see, it's all in there, Cosmos. When you're defending, you look at John Terry, you look at Bobby Moore, you even look at Alvin Martin. They didn't have any pace. It's all in there. You've got to read the situation. You can have a lot of pace, which a lot of players do, but no point in the ball back. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I think, and I'm watching for that crucial mistake every game now. And he got away with it twice today. He's been shaking every single game, and I wasn't sure he's gonna. I mean, we got the Greek guy Mavropanos. I've got my doubts about him, Ginge, as well, but we'll see how that goes as an out-and-out defender. He's got a lot to his game in terms of he's probably solid. He's got a bit about him, be like a cult hero. He can score goals, he can headers in, but as a pure out-and-out man marking or normal defender. I don't know what you think about him, mate, Mavropanos.
I think it's a bit hard to judge him properly because he was still very young when he was at Arsenal, and he didn't get a lot of game time at Arsenal. and I talked to my Arsenal mates about it, and they said I don't know why we let him go. They should have just, if he wasn't going to start and he wasn't going to be featured that much, then send him out on loan, get him some more experience, even to another English club, whether it was the Championship or a lesser team in the Premier League, just to get him some Premier League experience or English football experience. But his stats look good. I know it's only Stuttgart and the Bundesliga, but his stats do look
What
good,
it
and he does look a good player. Like his strength, he's quite quick, so he has got attributes there, and he's got room for improvement. He's still quite young. He's what, like mid-20s, so
23, 24, 24 maybe? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
very low, yeah. So where his stats were good for Stuttgart in the last few years, if we can get him and work on that with him and work on the English style of play or the Premier League style of play and get him up to scratch with that and bolster his attributes, I think he could be a great player.
I think the thing with him to just to watch out for is Stuttgart finished third from bottom with conceded
Mm,
65 odd
yeah,
goals, but their system means when you're third from bottom, you go into a playoff, and they want the playoff to stay up. And he plays more when there's three centre backs at the back. Because I think Moyes, I know he ain't getting, especially Kostic didn't come over the line. Moyes has definitely got this wing back system back of his mind, because that was the success when lockdown. Do you remember? He wants
yeah.
to go back to that as an option too, but he can't sign the wing backs for one reason or another. Emerson can do it sometimes. Kufal, I'm not sure. So Kostic is a proper wing back more often than not. And this Mavropanos, he can play in a back three. Flat back four, that's my worry. If we can rely on Zuma to be fit every game, we'll see how that goes. Rice, I want Rice back as part of my chicken curry, mate, but nothing apart from that.
Hungry Ben, yeah.
Yeah, Baladosi. Yeah, good bench,
Well,
mate. Good bench.
like, I'm,
Daniela's in the room.
I'm gonna say something to
Yeah.
your comment about Stuttgart being third from bottom, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah,
Look
yeah.
at look at Dawson. He was relegated. He was relegated twice, I believe, from the Premier League. Look how well he played with us, and he was the back end age of 30, wrong side of 30, and look how well he played.
I think this is a great comment, Ginge. We've played 3 games away out of the 4, mate. That's a very good point. Maybe we play
100%.
better away. I think Jerry, Cornet, Ingsy, Johnson, a couple of them were available for a move, but for one reason or another, there's only so much petrol you can put in a private jet, isn't it? Probably ran out of petrol.
I tell you what,
In the private jet, we ran out of petrol, mate.
David Sullivan probably didn't want to pay the fee to get him there.
It was Ginge. He took it to Isle of Wight and then come back with it. He ran out all the petrol, didn't he?
Well,
Flipping
no, actually,
hell.
I've used my jetpack.
No, Gingy uses Whiz Air. Whiz you nowhere.
Wizz Air, no, fuck it, no.
Listen,
I'll
I
tell
know
you what,
someone use Whiz Air. They think they come back home for a week, mate.
I'm definitely not using Ryanair. I'll tell you that. I got stuck in Lanzarote with them fuckers, and they didn't help me out one bit.
Oh, shit, I remember that. I remember that, mate.
And
That's the
sorry,
thing,
I'm not
isn't
going
it?
to
I
say
mean,
nothing just yet because I'm flying out to Tenerife in October, so I don't want to jinx it.
nah, me and Ginger going Saudi Arabia. And we'll see what happens.
You've
But
got a
anyway,
chance,
second. No, it should be good. Anyway, second half, I put down 66th minute, Agard liability, 70th minute, Bowen offside, Antonio pass, 2-0 up, 84th minute, great jump. Mr. Ward Prowse, who's been in my fantasy football league with Bowen, bloody hell, what's that, assist number 2 or 3? The man is a... Listen,
Yeah,
his
so that's his
corners,
second
mate,
assist.
wow. Brilliant, isn't it, mate?
No,
John
that's his
Ward,
third assist. And
second or
he's
third,
scored
and a
one
goal
goal.
as well.
Yeah, he scored one goal, and that's his third assist.
The guy who owns the hairdressers where I go to, he's a Southampton fan, and I saw him for the first time since the move, and he's hurt. He's hurt.
Mm.
Hurt, jealous, but then says, yeah, you got a great player, mate. You know,
Yeah,
28, 29 in November, but I would give him the captaincy in the future if ever need be. I think he vice captain, no problem. Zuma's doing all right, but Ward-Prowse, he ain't going to miss hardly any games, touch wood. He's solid boy, isn't he? Sorted. Good guy, good guy as well. You could tell they love him. 18 years at Southampton, good lad.
Yeah, the in-laws are they're Southampton, and they absolutely love Baldy. Obviously, he came through their youth system, been there since he was like 7 or something. They were gutted for him to go, but they understand. They understand that Southampton were absolutely dog shit last year, and it's going to happen to your better players. They're going to want to leave. They're going to want to better themselves. He wants to get into that England squad, and they're happy. And I think it helps that I'm West Ham, but they like West Ham. I think because I bang on about them so much.
But do you think we missed a trick by not kind of going to the Leicester jumble sale and getting Daka or Ian Cheese Nachos out of there?
100%.
Castagne, left back.
Timothy Castagne, I don't know.
Belgium regular wing back, stroke, all that kind of thing. I don't know, mate.
I think we need to go a bit more upmarket than Castagne, to be fair. But definitely some of their players. Obviously Maddison, I don't think we would have got him.
Injury prone, isn't he? That's the only thing. What a great player. Yeah. But
yeah, getting him just so Spurs didn't get him. But Harvey Barnes for me, like I said earlier, definitely would have been one. Icky Nacho, as I call him. I think he's
cheese nachos. Yeah. He's all right.
Yeah,
I think he would have been brilliant. He can play by himself. Just needs to improve his finishing a bit, but he's lively. Came from Man City. We tried for him at Man before he came, didn't he? Man City sold him.
It's like loads of players. We always come back in for a player that we tried getting 4 years ago. We didn't get him then. We shouldn't go for him now because he's a lot older. And like you say, he couldn't hit a cow's ass with a cricket bat.
All right. But listen, I've got something I've written down, 86 minute, and you would have loved that because you play a bit and you probably like to stick your foot in there as well. I know you lot from the East End. Alvarez tackle, 86 minute, mate, in the penalty area. The referee goes like that, and I'm like, what? And I know what you probably said. What the... Yeah. But he had a chuckle because he's...
It was the C word that come out of my mouth.
No, what a tackle, isn't it?
Yeah. No, that was his finger. And I was like, you cheating.
Yeah. But then... But what do you think about Alvarez? I think you like him as a proper player, isn't he, mate?
Yes. So this is something I was thinking about during the game that I noticed. Either Alvarez or Ward-Prowse, at some point, one of them would drop back in front of the back four to receive the ball and pick up play, and they rotated. And I thought they'd done it very well. Whoever it was that was nearest, they would drop into that central in front of the back four without the ball, and with the ball, they would come short, pick up the ball, turn, look to play forward. And I think Alvarez and Ward-Prowse both done it, and they've done it very, very well. And I'm happy with the way they play in front of that back four.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the way Sky Sport, yeah.
You play two, right, and one goes missing, and then you're left with just one, and then they're looking around like, where's my help? Them two sort of know what they're doing, and they know the whereabouts of each other already. And they're two brand new players to this football club. So I think they've done it very, very well.
But Sky Sports was showing the lineup as though Alvarez is a sweeper in front of the back four. I don't know what you think about that.
Mate, listen, I don't take no notice of Sky Sports because just like Talk Shit FM, they get things wrong all the time. Like some of the lineups I've seen from Sky Sports, I was like, no, that's not how we're lining up. Just because you're looking at the players and guessing where they're going to play, it's like FIFA. When like back in the day, you'd get this team and you can manually move your player and make your own formation or make your own positioning for individual players. And it's like that's what Sky Sports do. They move players in certain positions because of the name and where they think they might play or where they think they should play.
Did
they
you?
Brighton, I think it was, or the Chelsea game, and they had one player sitting in front of the back four, and I was like, no, that's not what they're going to play. They're going to play a 2 and a 3 and a 1. Everyone knows that.
Did you see the chant? Are you watching Declan Rice? Are you watching?
Yeah. And I've got
I think we need to move on from him now.
yes,
And
yes.
yeah,
I've got. I wouldn't say it's harsh. Yeah, it is a bit harsh. But what I will say, I've got a small opinion on it. Not
I'm
heavy.
disappointed on it. I'm not going to go into it, but it
Yeah,
just proves my
of course.
club is
But,
always
but,
the
but
biggest.
we knew
Club is the
it was going to
biggest.
happen. Right? And don't get me wrong. And I think a lot of the people in the chat will probably back me up here. I think it's the manner, the way he left, in
I
the
didn't want
manner
him
he
to go to
left.
Arsenal. I want him to go to Liverpool, Man
Exactly,
United, Man City. That's it. But going
exactly.
to Arsenal, he knew that's going to fuck us off. Yeah.
Because
I don't like
I
Arsenal as a
don't think
club. I used
I
to,
don't
but
think
not
he's
while
done
when
it.
Arteta's there. He's a nasty piece of shit. I don't like
I
Arteta.
don't think Rice done it intentionally, but I think what's rubbed us up in the wrong way is he said he wants to go and win trophies. He wants to go and play in the Champions League. All right, Arsenal
Well,
got into the
Ginger Collins
Champions
took
League.
the piss in the interview, didn't he? Ginger goes, "You don't do an interview and say, 'Now I know what football's about.' You don't fucking say that.
No,
What
yeah.
the?
So it's the little things. So a lot of people got pissed off at the fact he went Arsenal. Period.
What
And
about
I
the
think
Christmas dinner he had in Boxing Day around his house and all that shit? That's not fucking nice, is it? I'll,
no,
like, go
no,
around, you
exactly.
know? I know it happens. I know it happens, but don't fucking say
Yeah,
it.
well, we had Lanzini that was spending Christmas with a Spurs player because they were Argentine and they're I don't know, he's got the Argentine connection, and we all thought, fuck me, what's he doing with the first player? But it is what it is. I think what's rubbed it up the wrong way is the accumulation of certain things that's happened. Him singing North London Forever in an Arsenal puddle was another one. But I think, listen, we've known he was going for ages. Let him be. He's been a great servant for West Ham. He lifted the cup. Just let him be. It's done. We can't change it. No point giving him shit because he gave us some really good times at West Ham, and he's a third captain to lift the trophy at this club. He's in our history books. Nothing's going to take that away from him.
I
Wish
think,
him luck.
yeah.
Wish him luck. Move on. See you later. Thank you for
My
the over
my
5
my yeah.
million.
My
We've got
conclusion
some
was
quality players.
I don't wish him bad luck or good luck. I don't say nothing. He's gone now. He's vanished. So go,
Yeah.
go. But we look equally as good as when he was in the team. I mean, it's very early days, but I think all round we look a better team with the investment, and I think it's I know it's good or bad. I think we got money in the kitty for January, mate. 20. I think we got 2030 because we haven't spent our own money yet. A lot of it. I know because it's confusing. Like we got 11 million for Vlasic, but we haven't paid the Russian team yet because we can't send any money to Russia.
No.
So we've cashed in on that. But I think we got 20, 30 million to go again in January. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. But another silly thing I'm going to say is, if we got off to a bad start, we would have bought two more in. But I don't want to go. That's bad thinking. You don't because it happens. But we started well. Maybe rightly so. Everyone said, there's no emergency yet. Let's just because the window's like 3 months away, 13 weeks away. We got the international break. I think after this fixtures, I'm not sure. Could be.
Yeah.
So maybe a bit of that. I think it's all that things matters. Like, don't get so desperate. We've done all right. We got enough people in,
And then you've got the Carabao Cup. Then you've got European football coming
good draw.
Then you've got the Christmas fixture congestion. So there's still a lot of football to be played in the next 3 months, Jazz. Let's be fair. So we need to get bodies in, and I think we've done all right. I think we've got more quality this time than quantity.
I think when I look at our team, and again, I'll have a go at so many things. I have to say really good things, and I love saying it. We've got great team spirit, and no matter how many times we knock, and I'll say personally, I think you and me, Ginger, if we were good enough to play in that team under Moyes, we would have fallen out with him by now. But these players, they carry out the instructions. He might say, you ain't crossing the line they just do it. So that is like amazing for me. It's good. I don't understand how they do it. That they're together. And that 3-4 times last year, those players, if they wanted Moyes out, all they had to do was lose that one game and they fucking won it. Which is and I don't listen, it's weird, isn't it, mate? I mean, look, we're top of the table, we've won a trophy. You and me would have got rid of him after that Chelsea October, November, mate. So maybe that's why we do what we do. They do what they do. It's a very odd situation with Moisey. It's weird, isn't it, mate? The more you knock him and you think he's in the drain, Ginger's got his golf clubs. He's gonna whack one on his head. He ain't gonna. He gets up again, isn't he?
It's like whack-a-mole, isn't it? You know when they pop out the hole and you're fucking battering them and then pops back up again. It's relentless. But,
Casey, how you doing, mate?
Fair play to Moisey, man. He probably took a lot of shit. I know he don't pay attention to the media, and I know he tells his players don't pay attention. But it must have transpired to him at some point all the negativity towards him, and
I think he's like a lot of Scottish people. He's a brick wall, mate. He don't give a shit. He's strong as fuck. He's strong.
No, of course. He's got thick skin. Like Casey said there.
He's got weird skin. I'll put it that way. I don't know.
He's got ginger skin.
Yeah, I don't know, but
if you're ginger, then you have to have thick skin. But yeah, like Casey said.
Actually, I went to Edinburgh. I saw a lot of that colour here. A lot of that colour here up in Edinburgh. Lovely.
Yeah, you will do. Yeah. I'm not. That's not my neck of the woods.
You got Celtic blood in you, son. You got to be up Ireland way, Scotland way, or French.
Yeah.
Monsieur, Isle of Wight is near France. Very nice, very nice.
Hold up a minute. We're only 45 minutes from mainland. We're not like Jersey and Guernsey.
Jersey cows, that special milk. But listen, I know with Cassie saying the football's dog shit. I'm a bit in the middle now because I remember like we used to try to play it on the floor and then end up losing. Now we're winning, and actually now we're probably like what Everton used to be. You remember playing Everton? They used to just bully us. We were like had no chance of. So I'm enjoying it, Ginge. I'm enjoying it. And I know there's a few things we need to improve on. Better fullbacks, a striker back up.
Yeah.
And the one other thing I noticed, mate. Again, nitpicking. We don't have that player. And whether Paqueta Benrahma should do more, we don't have that player like Johnny Monker, Ian Bishop, Berkovic, Benioun, who like Modric, who can hold onto the ball, dictate the play, put that through ball in. We haven't got that. So it's a lot. Yeah, that one in the middle, isn't it, mate? There's not many of them about, mate.
I think we have with Paqueta, but we don't see it enough. And I think he's running around doing other things because he works a lot harder now than he did do the first half of last season. But that's not anything to go by because the whole starting 11 was shit for the first half of last season. But I think he's finding his feet now. But he doesn't do it as often, especially as we like. But he has got it in his locker. I mean, we see it in the UEFA Conference League final against Fiorentina. He picks up that ball, takes a quick touch, or just turns with it, and then plays Bowen through for the winner. So we know he's got it in him, but he doesn't do it consistently.
While you're chatting on, I'm just checking if we bought anyone. 10 o'clock, there's an update from Cavall, the Sky Sports expert.
Oh, yeah?
Because we were really close to getting Hugo Ikitiki. It's really hard for me to say. I called him Tiki, didn't I, in a group, WhatsApp group, Tiki Wiki. Very bad of me. But yeah, they messing us about, mate, because they wanted this guy from Frankfurt and they were forced. 2-3 players wanted to come to West Ham. One of them was the left back from Chelsea. You didn't want to go Burnley. You wanted to come to West Ham.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you know why? Because we're European champions and we're fucking massive.
Too massive, I think. But they reckon they're still trying to get rid of him. You can't get a deal done, surely. Loan deals are far easier to be. I heard loan deals are really easy to be done, paperwork wise.
It can be done is if the paperwork's been handed in, and then the transfer is not fully done. But as long as you hand them papers in by 11 o'clock to the FA, then you've got so many hours or a day to finalise the last part of that transfer, and that won't get announced until everything's done. Do you know what I mean? So you might wake up tomorrow morning and realise that we've got someone on loan or we've managed to.
So I'm getting news that we made an offer to buy Tiki Tiki, but it got rejected. It was a which I think is a great offer. It's a 4.3 million loan bid, option to buy for 25.7 at the end. That's a 30 million deal. But it's some internal shit going on there, mate, where the player's fallen out with the club. He's only hardly featured, and they're just being. But that's weird because we bought oh bloody, what's his name? Kara, the bloody was it Bobby Moore Part 2? We bought Kara from PSG, so we do have some kind of relationship with them. Everton in advanced talks with West Ham. Oh my, Cornet. Okay,
Yeah,
they're still trying to. Still trying to steal Cornet.
and I wonder what I've just said there about the.
They reckon they're close. I'm going to be pissed off with that, Ginge. If Cornet goes late on, I'm not going to be happy with that.
No, I wouldn't be happy with that either. 100%. He got very unfortunate with his injury, because he showed glimpses of what he could be like when he linked up with Paqueta, uh, Skamaka, and then he got injured. And it was just like, hadn't he got that injury, I think he would have kicked on a bit. But he's just struggling. He's another one. I call him offside merchant. That geezer's offside more times than Ozil's eyes, mate. It's unreal how much he's offside. How a professional player could be offside that many times is baffling. It really
Right.
is. Like, have you not got the awareness to look along the line, or spatial awareness to see where you are?
Yeah, we're going to close down soon, so I want to ask you a couple of questions, mate. Is obviously my man of the match is Zuma. So my first question to you is, what is your man of the match, mate?
Yeah, I think it has to be Zuma. Yeah, I think it has to be Zuma.
He was my man of the match before he scored the goal, by the way. I thought he kept everything together at the back and didn't put a foot wrong. And yeah, it's always difficult when that ball's like they played a lot of long balls, Luton. I felt, which is fine. It's football. It's allowed. But
it was a very, very tough game because it's well, we know as West Ham fans, we go and do the job against Brighton, a very good Brighton side, never beaten them in the Premier League. We go and do a job against London rivals Chelsea, and then we go and lose to a newly promoted team. It's typical West Ham. So them playing their first home game, it was sort of built up for them, and I think that's why they was on it. But it was a very difficult opponent, and a very difficult game. So
definitely.
The midfield three gets overlooked because of how tight it was in the middle of the pitch, because they had three players as well in there in the middle. Bowen was all right. Ben Rama, not so quite.
Ben Rama and Agard for me, bit concerns. Apart from that, Antonio wasn't as good as the previous two games. He's back to his Bournemouth form, which you're gonna get. You're gonna get that. He's either world class or then he's just could be.
I think that's a bit. I mean, I know what you think of Antonio anyway, so you're going to be overcritical of him. But Antonio had a different job to do tonight, and it was hard for him as well. They doubled up on him very quick. They got around him very quick. And I think his job today was just to hold up play. He played his game back to goal, and he was just trying to hold up play and releasing it. He didn't have any opportunity to score. He wasn't in a position to score. I think he was just linking up the play. And for that, I think he done well, to be fair. He wasn't directly involved as a goal scorer or as a striker, but he had a very different game today.
My other question to you was going to be, what do you think of our transfer window dealings, mate? Who do you like? Who do you don't like? What do you think we could have done better, mate?
I think it's turned out all right. I think it's a good window. We could have done with a few more bodies coming through. Been a bit more.
We haven't used the loan market again, Ginger. Why don't we use the loan market? I fucking don't understand that, mate. We don't use it.
Well, it was David Sullivan's favourite thing, wasn't it? 2 years ago, and prior to that, he loved the loan, that geezer. So
No,
it
it
would
makes
make sense.
sense.
But
You put
maybe,
less up front and you can try a player out. I don't
but,
know. I
but
don't know why we
maybe,
don't do it.
maybe what happened with Jesse Lingard is probably thinking, fuck it, I'm not
Well, the
playing for
latest on
him.
him, mate, he ain't match fit. They're nowhere near offering him a deal yet. He ain't up to speed, I reckon. That's the latest I'm hearing,
No,
mate.
no,
That
but I
he's not.
mean, in the terms of when we had Lingard on loan and we put him in the shop window, almost got him into the England squad. Should have bought him, could have bought him. Man United said no, then he fucked about because he wanted money, and then blamed the fans more recently in a comment that he made.
Did he? Did he? What did he say?
So he said the reason why I didn't go to West Ham is because I didn't feel the love and respect.
No, no, no. That was
And
a love from Moisey and the director, not West Ham fans. Wasn't us.
he said about fans, I heard.
He, no, but we can't say nothing after he's gone. We can't show the love, can we? He's not.
Mate,
Oh, you
this
mean?
is the other problem. How can we show him love when it was during COVID and no fucker was allowed in the stadium?
I think that's towards the club, Moisey and them lot. Which I'm shocked about. But see, Moisey's heads and tails, and he's up. I'm confused. I've never met an individual where, if you loved him that much, put your arm around him, you're showing more love for Lingard than any other player I've seen. You're showing more emotion for him than any other player on the pitch.
Well, I don't
How
think
the
it's
hell did he go through your fingers? I don't understand that.
this is
How can Anana sign for Everton? Relegation, we're in Europe. It's something just weird that go in my mind. Like, what the hell are we
yeah.
doing? It's just
But
weird.
that's why I don't think he aimed it at Moyes because Moyes did put his arm around him and show him the love. He was his golden child.
But then I look down on Moyes and say, how did you, if you wanted him badly, how did he end up at Forest? It's just,
He's not the one. He's not the one that's stumping the money forward. So for all we know, Moyes could have been saying, "I want him. Just pay him what he wants. You haven't got a transfer fee to pay. Pay him what he wants. Give him that year deal. Like you would have. Let's say, for argument's sake, he would have cost 15, 20 mil. Right? And then you have to pay his wages on top of that. You don't have to pay.
yeah, I know, yeah.
You don't have to pay his wages.
What do you thought about Ross Barkley, mate? Our mate Ross Barkley, not really there, is he? Lost it, any mate, a little bit.
He didn't really do too much, but there was a time during the game where he did frighten me a bit. He got the ball in the box, just inside the box. Was allowed.
Missed it, didn't he? Should have scored. Yeah.
Luckily, he dragged it wide. But, what made me laugh is he had it just inside our half and ended up fumbling it in between his legs and tripped over the ball. And I was like, "There's the rough play."
Where's Origi gone, mate? Did he end up somewhere? He's only available for 8 to 10 million. Origi, did he go Burnley? I don't know. They were after him, weren't they?
We were rumoured to get him apparently, but then who was
Company, they're all from Belgium, weren't they? Company and all them lot. Yeah, Origi and them lot.
Yes, it was Burnley. Yes, it was Burnley.
Has he gone there, or we don't know yet?
As far as I know, nothing I've seen.
6'2".
I haven't seen anything from today. But he's
I'll tell you what.
I wanted to get a few years ago.
I like what Villa are doing, mate. I like Diaby. Good player. I like Diaby. Up front, isn't it, for Villa? He's busybody.
They've got Alkmaar, haven't they, in Europa League? They've got Alkmaar in their group.
I tell you what, a certain players available in January, mate, called Tony at Brentford, mate.
Just think he's not going to be match fit. He's not going to be match sharp. He's not going to have kicked the ball competitively for a very long time. It's a risk.
I think
you need a player that's active. When you're buying in a January window, you've got games around you left, right, and centre. The FA Cup starts as well. You need a player that's active, that's ready to go straight away if needed.
I think we know the player through the Peterborough links that Sullivan has, but I'm just wondering, is he a team player? Is he a dressing room disruptor? I'm just a bit that kind of thing with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, every time we play him, he's a bit of a bastard, isn't he? Let's be right. And
yeah.
it's for a long time. Since Arnautovic, we've needed that bastard of a player.
Moyes wants proper soldiers that just say, yes, sir, what should we do more?
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want people answering back or got an attitude or...
But weirdly enough, he's got that slight bit of arrogance about him, which I love, to be fair. And Arnautovic had it.
I'm gonna
And
go. I'm gonna go and get myself more whiskey. But in the meantime, I want you to talk about things like Mope, how he's gone downhill. Because I used to have a lot of time for him, mate, and
I never
he's
rated him. I
yeah.
never rated
I
him.
thought he's all right up front by himself and penalty taker and all that kind of thing. But yeah, yeah. Just talk about the window. I think it's more interesting. I think obviously with the game, professional performance, couple of things we can polish on. We're top of the league. Let's enjoy it. But I love talking about the window, like which players you would have liked. Some players that you think, God, 2 years ago, like yeah, like Mope, like God, he's people trying to get rid of him. So I'll be back in a minute. But yeah, I think you
Yeah.
can waffle on about what you want, but I think the window's always interesting for me, mate, isn't it?
Well, there's
Anyway, before I go in my West Ham bar, what do you want? Pint of Carling? What should I bring you back? What do you want?
Carlin, you're having a laugh, aren't you? Piss water, that is. I'll have a rum, Jazz.
Oh shit! I ran out of that. The kids took it. I got the famous grouse though, but that's Scotch. But anyway, I'll be back. You carry on waffling, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, people get involved in the chat. Who would you have liked to have seen? I mean, the transfer window this year has been very weird, especially with a lot of the Saudi dominance, taking a lot of Premier League players. Like, I think there was a lot of players out there that was up for grabs. As Jez mentioned there, raiding Leicester City would have been a good idea. They had some decent players there. Even Southampton, I mean, they've been a feeder club for Liverpool mainly, but they had some decent players. Lavia is another good option. Whether he would have got him, whether he wanted to come to us, would have been another option. Or maybe he wouldn't have wanted to come to West Ham. But then I think we've put ourselves in the shop window a bit because the success with it's the Tim Pot European Cup, but nevertheless we've still won it and we can only win what we're in. But talking about Southampton, Shay Adams would have been another good shout. People might say he's pushing on a bit. He's probably not quite up to West Ham scratch.
Yeah, these strikers, they're hard working. They don't score a lot, so I'm not sure about them. Castagnier,
But
I don't know. I know you don't like him. I don't know. He's all right, Isn't he all right?
I think Shay Adams in a better team though. I think he was feeding off scraps. Let's be real.
Plays for Scotland, doesn't he? Plays for Scotland, I think. Yeah, plays for Scotland.
Yeah. And like you said, he works hard. He's an actual striker.
I am absolutely shocked. Regulian. There's nothing wrong with the guy, and they've lumped him to United. I don't understand that. There's nothing wrong with him, mate.
Man United have panicked. Man United have absolutely panicked because they've lost Luke Shaw, and they're looking for a left back.
You know, Regulian's all right, isn't he? He's all right.
No.
Oh, he came for Real Madrid. Oh, okay. I think he's quite.
Anyone that plays for Spurs are absolutely dog shit.
I'll tell you what, mate. Richarlison is a laughing stock, isn't he, mate? And Tony's wound him up. He's going to go for him in the game, and
he is the new Fernando Torres when Torres went from Liverpool to Chelsea for 50 million.
I used to love that striker. I thought he had it's weird what happens in life, isn't it? The guy had everything: pace, height, run at you. It's weird what happens when you move, isn't it, mate? Absolutely weird. But then Chelsea's
not made for certain players. That's the thing. And these bigger teams go for these bigger players, and they don't think about the long haul of what it could do to your club or what he could do to your club. If it doesn't, he might look good, but he might be in a different setup that's completely different to your setup as a club. And you go and buy him, especially when you're paying 50 million, which was a lot of money back then when Chelsea bought him, and he just did not work.
I'll tell you what, Apache is mentioning Andy Carroll. He's gone to French second division, isn't he? Amiens, is it, something like that? Yeah. Played for Reading, didn't he? My club down the road.
Played for Reading. Missed a penalty recently as well. I think it might have been pre-season, but I think it could have even been the start of the season. I'm not sure because they start obviously before us.
I'll tell you what, while you're waffling on, I will. Huh?
He's followed me, isn't he, old Andy Carroll? He's thought, oh, fucking.
Oi, get in there, mate. Get in there. Get in there, mate. That's wicked. I'm going to try The last thing I want to do is while you're talking, I want to go through quickly the kind of the market, what the teams have done, and kind of say because it's hard to remember what's gone on. The window's been open for 2 months now,
Mate,
nearly.
there's been loads of transfers. I think it's been the record summer Premier League transfer, isn't it? In terms of money spent.
Listen, I think what we got to say in summary is, mate, how strong and how rich our league is. That's what I'm saying in Europe. Even the competition we're in, I wouldn't be surprised if out of Brighton, Liverpool, West Ham, we're going to get to the semis, mate. With respect to the other teams, we're too strong, mate. And I remember growing up, used to get bullied in Europe, cheated in Europe, but especially our club, mate. We're built for Europe. We're strong, we're physical, we're organised. You can't bully us off, and we've taken to Europe, Ginge, better than the league, innit, in a lot of occasions.
Yeah.
We've not looked out of shape in a lot of games, mate. Like Sevilla, we beat Sevilla last year, and look at the European pedigree stock.
Yeah, we
And they
beat them,
didn't.
and they go on the following year and go and win the Europa Cup, Europa League. So we beat
It
them, and
has.
in the following year we're in the conference and they're in Europa again, and they go and win it.
Yeah.
So it just shows how good they are. I mean, they're the kings of that competition. But Roma goes and wins the Europa Conference League and then gets to the final of Europa League the following season. I think looking at it, I mean, I don't know if you watched it live, but when I watched the cup draw earlier, I was thinking, lovely, that's a bit of me, that's tasty. We should get 6 out of 6 for that finish top. On paper, it looks very, very good for us.
Right. I'm going to go through all the top transfer arrivals, departures in the Premiership quickly, and because it's just a memory jerker, apparently Man City have got a centre back, 90 million euros. Josko Gvardiol, Nunez, 62 million euros. Doku, right winger, 60 million euros. We were linked with him, the French boy. Kovacic, 29 million euros. Departures, they reckon Cancelo, which is weird. I think he's fallen out with him, which is stupid because I think he's a good right back. He's going to go to Barcelona. Cole Palmer. See, this is the thing that really hurts me. Homegrown guy who scored in the Super Cup, scored in the Charity Shield, I think. 47 million euros. He's selling to, well, a club that's meant to be on your level, Chelsea. Mahrez, 35 million. Lepore, 27. What do you think about those, mate? Lot of surprising ins and outs there, mate.
To be fair, their midfield outs. Did they get rid of what's the other bit? The French, the German geezer midfield.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah. They got rid of him, mate.
That's madness. You've got rid of Mahrez. You've got rid of
Kyle Walker's a regular fullback now, mate.
Yeah. You get rid of Mahrez as your attacking midfielder / right wing forward. You get rid of the German midfielder who's very good, he's quality, and then you get in players like Kovacic,
Gundogan.
Yes. Then all right, I know you've got players like Foden that still doesn't really get a game. You've got Grealish there. Kovacic was a weird one for me, but weirdly enough, I mean, you could probably put anyone in the City team and they would look mustard because of the players around them.
I'm going to move to Right, I'm going to move to. Hang on. I'm going to move to Arsenal now. The club I hate the most for everything they stand for, which is cheating, time wasting, diving. Absolutely despise that club. Deco came in. Havertz, I love that. I love that signing. Havertz, Arsenal, the biggest waste of money in the whole transfer. I love that signing. 675 million euros. Everyone
I want to know who at that football club has identified Kai Havertz or thought that they could make Kai Havertz better, because he is a fucking waste of space. Absolute waste of money, waste of time, waste of space.
You know, you put him and Richarlison up front, we'll have a bundle of laughs.
Oh, mate.
Because you can all run down the channels, but the name of the game, mate, is putting the ball in the net. They ain't going to do it, mate. You know, you used to have that Werner. He was just as bad, wasn't he?
But I'll tell you what with Werner, though. He had a bit more about him. He got into some great positions but he also Werner, what he done in the latter stages is realised that he couldn't finish, and he was frustrated. He tried so hard, which made it even worse for him when it comes to his finishing. Then he realised he was getting into position, and then he would cut it back, turn, lay it off for someone else to score, and he got very good at that. He got very good at becoming an assist sort of type player. He was fast, direct, strong, got
That's
himself
right,
in great position. But Kai Havertz, he gets himself in some good position, and wow.
What it is Arteta. The thing with Arteta, you can see he copies Pep all the time. Everything he's doing. So what he's doing at the moment, he's playing that Brighton bloody guy right back. Now he's playing that CDM, at right back. What's his name? Pape? What's his name?
Partey, yeah.
So he's playing him right back because my son told me this. He goes, Dad, what they do, Man City, they do that. And then they think when you're attacking, defending, you got 3D CDMs and you go back. So what it is with Arteta, he's getting ahead of himself now. He's had a good start, a lot of luck. He thinks he's a real deal now. He's got a big head. That's going to be the downfall of him now. And anyone he wants to buy, the board are just giving him a checkbook. Didn't give the checkbook to anyone else. The Villa manager, I love that guy. I think he's more of a nice human being, down to earth. Yeah. This guy Arteta is so disrespectful, pain in the ass, doesn't say anything good in the interview, jumps up and down, so does his backroom team.
He thinks
Ramsdale.
Everything, doesn't he, Arteta? He thinks he's owed the world.
He thinks he's a smart little shit. Ramsdale, I don't know how he pulled off this deal by buying the Brentford #1 for £3 million loan fee. And why would Brentford do this? It's either they've completely run out of money, and I don't know how Arsenal have influenced them, so I rate them for doing that deal. You took out their #1 goalkeeper for £3 million up front, with a kind of obligation to buy him at the end. But everyone is saying, even Schmeichel is saying, that's the worst thing you can do, because now Ramsdale is shaky as fuck. He's all over the place, right? He's right.
I don't get Raya. I don't get, like, they are both #1 goalkeepers. Good enough to be #1s. Yeah. I mean, what keeper doesn't have a shaky moment or shaky part of their career? Ederson, one of the best Premier League goalkeepers. Alisson at one point was one of the best Premier League goalkeepers. They've all had, every goalkeeper in the world. Buffon's had some shaky moments, and I can't see one of the best goalkeepers. Period.
Listen, we all got big head, but Maguire's the big head, isn't he? Maguire, spam head. He's a weirdo, isn't he? Why do... I don't understand people like that. I know money means a lot, but he's totally done an own goal, isn't he, Maguire? Proper own goal, mate. You know? And I'm so glad he didn't come. I did not want him, Ginge. Maguire. No way, mate.
No, 100% not. The money he was demanding just shows that he's the type of player that thought he was bigger than what he was, demanding all the money. They were willing, if you believe the rumours, they were willing to give him the captaincy just to get him in. And I'm so glad we never. Because he's, all right, he plays well for England, shit for United. He's one of those players that probably suit a Leicester club than Man United, like West Ham. He came from Leicester, looked at bollocks, got bought for 80 million, got found out. So I think his level is mid-table.
I think so. But the other thing was obviously that, they got rid of Balogun. Turney's gone somewhere. Turney's gone on loan.
Because they need another left back. So that's a weird one.
He said that. He goes, I wanted more players, but there's a limit to what you can do. So he's like, you know, the board have got to be careful about what's going on and things like that, mate. You know.
Mm.
Yeah, usual, mate. I didn't want him there, mate. I did not want him in. That was bad. He didn't want to come anyway. That's the worst kind of player. And in the modern age, he's very slow. We've got Zuma, who's better than him, mate.
Got a turning circle of a lorry that gave up. There's no way.
Listen, when my sausages are getting burnt, I'm quicker than that. You remember, there used to be a player called Mickey Quinn at Coventry, like used to weigh like 16 stone, big fat beer belly on TalkSport. He used to go, listen, And I remember when I started to game football, he's always used to play for Newcastle with the really good guy up front. Forgot the name, but he goes, "I'm the quickest over 3 yards."
Mate, Adebayo Akafenwa has got better turning pace than Maguire. And he is a lump.
After playing Chelsea, Ginger, all these things are coming to me. Mate, I don't want Conor Gallagher. I thought he's the biggest pile of shit in that game against West Ham. Absolute shit, mate. I've got no time for him, Conor Gallagher. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No way. Not compared to what we got. No, I don't think so.
it's a weird one because Chelsea are transitioning and they've bought a lot of players from the French league and a lot of young players that they're trying to bed in. It reminds me a bit like us a few years ago when we bought in.
It's like KK though. All them lot. Like, fuck that, mate. Fuck off. Fuck you now. Conor Gallagher. No way, mate. Go to Spurs, mate. Go to Spurs if you want. They couldn't afford him in the end anyway. Mason Mount. He's looked dog shit, isn't he? Mason Mount. My goodness, mate.
He's injured now, isn't he?
Oh, what is money? What is some of these clubs doing with their money? It's like, whoa.
The thing is, these big clubs, they're in fucking serious amounts of debt. They're saying that, oh, we haven't really got the money to spend big, and then they go out and buy bang average players for well over the price they should be paying for.
I mean, Manchester United, you've got the guy who's injured, mate. So that's that's brilliant. 75 million euros. Rasmus Højlund, Denmark. Mason Mount, 64 million euros. Goalkeepers looked all right. 52 million. He's all right. Then today is Agard's teammate, Sofyan Amrabat. Apparently he had a good game in the final against us. Do you remember him?
Yes.
Morocco. Yeah.
Yeah.
10 million loan fee. Yeah.
I thought he was a very good player, to be fair. Amrabat was probably one of their players that would start their play to cause.
Right, I'm gonna, Ginger, I'm going to say something controversial because anyone can say whatever they want. I think not that we're going to get him or that club would sell him to us. I think Fred, as a sense CDM for the money, Fred, I'm all right with him if you pay cheap 9 million transfer fee. Fred, Man United. No? Okay, fair enough. I know he's like Marmite. He's like Marmite. He's all
right on his day. He's strong. Yeah, but with the players that we've got in, no. I'd rather have the players that we've got in.
I don't think we need that many extras in that area anyway, do we? We're all right, aren't we?
No, we need a striker. We need fullbacks, and possibly you could argue a wing forward, someone with a bit of better quality and consistency.
Yeah, we need a younger fullbacks on both sides who can play, like you said, fullback, but also the modern wing back, so you can switch formations. Yeah. We need a striker, obviously, that's kind of fine. Agard, I'm keeping an eye on him, mate. How it goes till January. Areola, so far, I'm okay. 0.5%, 1% better every game. I'm okay with that. Just looking at Liverpool, mate. McAllister, 42 million. I think he's all right. This is a new guy, isn't he? Dominic, I can't even pronounce it. Sabosli, apparently he's all right, 70 million. This website's telling me that for Fabinho, they got 46 million euros. Fair enough. Fabinho's a CDM. Firmino went for free transfer. Hang on a minute. So that Fabio Cavallo, who we were after from Fulham like anything, gave him everything, so we give you free pie and mash for a year. They flogged him off on a loan somewhere.
Yeah. Carvalho, yeah.
Naby Keita, this is a shock. Naby Keita came with a big transfer fee, big reputation. Free transfer, Ginge. I'll tell you what, there's too much money than sense now. Too much. Jordan Henderson, 14 million.
Just quickly, the England international, Gareth Southgate has named his England squad for the international break. How the fuck are you putting Jordan Henderson in that England squad?
are close to getting the best squad I can remember, and we're wasting it. We should have won the. I don't want to keep banging on about it. We should have beaten Italy in the final, but the guy played eight defenders, took Rice off. We're not going to win nothing under this guy, mate. We're not going to win nothing under him. I don't enjoy the football we play. It's a shame because I think, especially Bellingham, my goodness, mate. Oh my God. I've not seen a midfielder like that since Brian Robson, I think. Flipping hell, mate. His brother's at Sunderland, I think. Looks like him badly. I don't know what to call him. To call him a CDM would be unfair. The guy's got everything. Everything.
Yeah. And he's still learning his craft. Like, you think he's still, in a way, a kid. He's like 19 years of age, and he's still got potential to learn even more. And
mate, the guy's born to play football.
He is a quality player, as it is, and if he gets more to him, then wow, he is something special.
Player like that, natural, doesn't get nervous. Real Madrid, mate, it's a big pressure when you go there. The guy's like just hit the ground running, mate. He's going to score a goal every game. He's in midfield. And, I mean, he started off at Birmingham. I'm so glad in my selfish, grunty little way, I was scared Liverpool were going to get him. And you know what I think about Liverpool? I was worried. Because they did want him. He did consider it. They didn't have the money in the end. And then he's a very wise, high-head.
The team that I play for in the islands, one of the older boys, he's a Liverpool fan. And he was saying, obviously, that they got offered, what was it, 110 mil for Bellingham, and Liverpool said no. But then later on, they were willing to pay, when they were battling Chelsea for Potato, they were willing to pay 110 mil for him. And he was saying, I don't get it. Why wouldn't you just pay 110 mil and get Jude Bellingham straight away? He's a much better player. He's much younger. He's got more years to give. And it's just like, I mean, Jude Bellingham is something special.
I think that guy they got from Southampton, again, I spoke to some people, they say he ain't all that, mate. The Lavia, I don't know whatever his name is, gone to Chelsea. He ain't all that, mate. And I'm surprised, 19. I can't even remember him last year, mate. So I think that one's a bit weird.
I remember him, and he was one of the players that I thought if we could get him going.
Really? Okay.
He was probably 1 out of 3, possibly 4 of the Southampton players that I probably would look to get. Obviously, Ward-Prowse, Lavia. Che Adams is on the sort of borderline spectrum. At a very big push, Che Adams would have been. But Lavia, Ward-Prowse, and there was someone else. I can't think of who it is now.
Well, we're going to go through. We're up to Spurs now. So, mate, Maddison, 46 million euros. Brennan Johnson, 55. Kulusevski, 30 million. I like him. Pedro Porra, 40 million. Yeah, fucking lot of money in fullbacks. Mickey van der Quick, 40 million. Harry Kane. So this is again waste of money, which I think we haven't done, which again we should be grateful. So Spence was the guy they bought last year, right back. Hardly played him. He's gone on loan for 1 million euros. Regulian, I think they paid at least 20-30 for him from Real Madrid. Joe Rodon, they got him ahead of us. Done nothing with him, mate. So I think, like you said, sometimes we are quite harsh on West Ham, but when you look at the waste of money other clubs are doing as well, I know Vlasic as well, things like that, yeah.
So it was about time that we got our business right and not brought in anyone that was a waste of money. We've known, obviously, being West Ham fans for the past, God knows how long, we've wasted so much money on absolute drops. What do you think about Tielemans at Villa, free transfer? That's a very early one they got over the line. Very early, wasn't it, mate? Yeah, good signing for them, though. For that sort of club. Fuck it, they've got rid of Sanson. Centre mid, they've got rid of him. He's gone on loan transfer. They got rid of him. Sanson, I think, was the one from... I swear they got him from Marseille on the free, and we were after him. Let me click on him. Yeah, he's French. That's got to be the one. I could be wrong. Oh, sorry, he came from Nice. Okay, I'm thinking of someone else. No, he is Marseille. Marseille to Villa, Villa to...
Well, he has played for them anyway, but they got rid of him. But Tillemans, I mean, they got a lot of pace now. Got Bailey and all them lot.
Yeah.
Newcastle. Let's have a quick look at Newcastle, everyone.
Mate, you know what? I like that Tonali.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think he's
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes.
Harvey Barnes, Livramento, 37 million euros, right back
That's
from
the other one. That's the other one. He came from Southampton. That's the one I was thinking of, Livramento.
Southampton. As you know, Ginge, have got one of the best academies in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gareth Bale, Ox,
Walcott.
so many players, mate. So many players, mate. So many players. It's incredible what they've produced. It's remarkable. And then Maxime got 27 million. Chris Wood, Ryan Fraser, loan transfer again. Yeah, Jamal Lewis, they've gone, mate. Not even used them. Newcastle always just seem to be buying fullbacks all the bloody time when I look at what they're doing. But it's a very important position. That's why we need to look at that next
Yeah.
window, I
Well,
think.
depends how you're willing to set up and what you're trying to play, what style of football. Now, there's that new style of football that managers want to play, or the new generation of managers that want to play attacking football with their wing backs pushing on. So your wing backs do become a very important position, not only defending but capability of getting up and supporting and attacking.
I think so, mate. West Ham, I think we already know. Everton, Brighton, Brentford, Palace. I'll tell you what, one player who hasn't been sold in this window, who I think is smooth as silk, is Eze of Palace, isn't it, mate? Eze.
Yes, yes. And yeah, so just after the Elite thing for Palace, when was it Chelsea?
Moyes wanted him before Benrahma, but Sullivan put a block on it because he didn't sell Anderson. Yeah, he wanted it. Moyes wanted him.
So that Elite for Palace, I think it was Chelsea that activated his £35 million release clause. And then they got him to sign a brand new contract, so they would gain more money out of him if they were to sell him. And then, literally, I think it was about a week later, it was rumoured or fake reported that Man City was looking at Eze. After the Paqueta thing, Man City was looking at Eze. And I thought,
that's it, mate. That's it. That's a highly regarded. He's their main player now, mate. Everything goes through him. Comfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
Can kind of control it, go forward, do other things. I'm looking at what Brighton have done with their money, mate. I don't know any of these lot, mate. But Brighton, if anyone doesn't know, Brighton use a database system, which that's why I wasn't sure on Potter, mate, because Potter didn't buy any of the players. The computer buys the players. I'd love this manager of Brighton, by the way. I think someone's going to grab him sooner or later.
Yeah, he looks twisted. But I think with the establishment that Brighton have got, with the foundations that they've built since being in the Premier League, I think they've done it the right way. They established themselves, set themselves a foundation, set themselves a Premier League foundation, shall I say. Their scouting talent is very different. But if you look at them, they pick up some gems. They go all around the world. They go to South America, they go Europe, they go all sorts of countries that you wouldn't even think of to get certain players, and they're young as well, and they are good. They're not gamble. Well, I mean, every transfer is a gamble, but I mean, they turn out to be very good. So they must be doing their due diligence and doing their research. And whoever's doing it, there's going to be so much of it that's going to be database, i.e. computer, but there's got to be human knowledge there as well.
Yeah, definitely. They go, you can take our manager, we got the next one lined up, we don't give a shit. What we do, we're kind of reactive, not proactive. So we wait, and we never sack managers, we don't want to pay them. And then when we get a manager, we never get a manager at another club, we don't want to pay for them. We get managers that are free. Lazy. Darren, absolutely, mate. And that's why I agree with Ginger as well. A body over the line that's hardworking would fit like Che Adam. I'm fine with him. Or even I know, Ginger don't agree. I think maybe Mope just needs to be lifted a bit in spirits because he's really good at Brentford. I don't know what happened to him. I think at Everton I would lose my soul mate as well. I think I would lose it as well. I think he's all right, and I think he's probably gone somewhere tonight for next to nothing. So Darren, like you said, kind of mini Antonio in a way, but I think he could play up front by himself. So definitely agree with you on there, mate. And Alison's coming with some comment. Alison, I hope you're doing all right. Let's see what happens. At the moment, Lingard isn't up to scratch in terms of fitness, but that's just news from.
I believe we can sign him at any time.
Why are we not playing Mabumu? Why are we not playing him then more? Like coming as a sub last 10 minutes, mate. He done well in pre-season and shit, didn't he?
Mate, I'm worried that we're going to end up shipping him off somewhere, getting rid of him on loan, or doing something like we have done with these youngsters that have come through and shown a bit of quality. And if we do that, it's fucking criminal.
Alisson, we'll see. Yeah, Alisson is.
Lately, and it will be a disrespect to our academy if we go and let Madonna go, even if it's on loan, because he deserves a good shot in that squad.
Alisson, it's going to be Bowen, I think, who's going to play up front with Kudus behind. I think that's what's going to happen, or the other way around, or Mabumu Viscera. It's that kind of thing they're thinking of. Question just come to my mind after what Alisson was asking, Ginge, was how the hell, because Liverpool nicked our centre-back, haven't they, from our youth academy, you know, who's called, who Carlton Cole called him a Rolls Royce of a centre. How's this been allowed to happen? With Liverpool, like, you greedy kids, you got all that area where you are at. How can this happen where it's upbringing, loyalty? I mean, if my kid was at West Ham since the age of 11, I don't think I would have the heart to, that's disgusting. Like, just like, you know, I mean, that guy who went to Leeds, he ain't done nothing. Harry, that boy that went to Newcastle, Ashby, they shipped him out again, mate. They're not bothered with him. It's disgusting.
I think Ashby got too big for his boots. He done sort of similar sort of thing to what these doctors have done.
His family, if my son did that, I'd tell him, fucking hell, mate. I mean, give it a rest a bit, mate. Yeah.
The thing is, he done sort of similar thing to these doctors. Played a couple of games, done well, demanded more money than he.
That's bad upbringing, mate. That's bad upbringing in my time, that you do that to someone that.
You've got to blame the individual as well. But then you could blame the club and say that they haven't ruled him in.
Breaking news. Something happened at the match that Ginger probably knows about. Even David Moyes has mentioned it. There's been really disgusting chants at Bowen at today's game at Luton.
Yeah.
So I know football is harsh. It's a working class sport. I get that.
Right.
But for it to appear in the news, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to go into it. But did you notice that, Ginger?
I think it's because of the word they used.
Okay.
WHORE. So they were thinking, because obviously we've got a song about Bowen's on fire and shaking down, blah blah blah. They were saying, Jared Bowen, your missus is a.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Bloody hell. Shouldn't go into the family, and you know he's got two lovely twins, and
let's be fair, West Ham fans have sung some horrendous chants over the years. We're guilty of making some silly chants. But yeah, it's one of them. If you're a fan and you're receiving it, or even if you're a player and you're receiving it about another third player, or if you're Bowen himself, if you're Danny Dyer, like the dad, I'd be flicking my lid if someone said that about my daughter. Do you know what I mean? But Luton are going to be like that. They've come from the gutter. They're very raw fans. They're going to be like that. They've still got like the violent territory in their nature. Like I know a couple of Luton fans.
Going back to Tommy's comment. Tommy, there's nothing going on, mate, unless we find out in the morning. I think. I remember Solana when he joined. I didn't know anything till the following morning. That was a very late deal, and we loved him for that. Another breaking news in a way, which you might not have known about, is that the bookmakers suspended bets on Paqueta getting booked at Luton. So I don't know if that's a trend, if you guys follow that kind of thing. But James Corden, I mean, if you give a shit, he was there. He was there at the game. That's about it,
Obviously, he's
mate.
lost his show in America now. He's come back to England.
That's a great point by Apache. That yeah. And the Gaki, I was really pissed off with him when he did that. There's fucking no need for that shit. Moyes trusted him, put him against Man City. Me and Ginger were probably at that game, and I thought he'd done all right. And what the hell are you doing, mate? I mean, I don't want to.
If I remember right, he had a spell of 3, 4, 5 games, and
He's all right. He's all right. He look comfortable.
Those games, he had City and Liverpool. He had one of those twice. Then he had, let's say he had City twice and Liverpool once, or Liverpool twice and City once, and another game, and he done very well. After that, he demanded more money. He thought he was bigger than what he was. Wanted a price increase, and it was like, no, not worth it.
Alisson coming out with really good questions, so I think it carry. He's man of the match today, Alisson. So you can't say anything with him. And like I keep saying, it's not about pace; it's about pace in your mind. And the man has hardly looked out of place. Hardly looked out of place defending for us. I thought we again quite fortunate to get a man of his stature out of club. Chelsea, obviously, yeah, they shove people out the door really, really quickly. Got a lot of booing today. I thought he was finished, and they picked. It is mad, mate. It is mad how this is just carrying on. If that's all they want to do, that's fine. You got a lot of booing. Seems to have done all right.
People are going to use that to try and target.
For how many years, Ginge? How many years they're gonna? It's nuts, mate. You know.
It'll probably go on for the next 3 years, right? And it's something to dig it in there. And if you give someone ammunition, they're going to use it. So I think that was the best thing that Bowen and Zuma both done today, because the Luton fans were chanting, singing, booing, whatever. They said that about Bowen. He goes on and scores. And then we erupted singing Bowen's on fire. They booed every touch.
Do you know top of your head how many? Do you know top of your head our allocation for that ground? Top of your head, do you know? Unfair question. It's hard to. It's very small ground, isn't it?
Probably say
couple of thousand. What do you think?
About 4,000 maybe.
4 sounds a lot. Okay.
Well, they have up their capacity though, haven't they? Because of the Premier League regulations on minimal capacity. So you have to be a certain capacity to be in the Premier League. So they had to spend 10 mil to do up their stadium, or part of their stadium, to make it bigger. Hence why this was their first Premier League home game, because it wasn't ready for the start of the season.
Yeah, going back to Alisson, your question, I think the thing is, he's captain. He's been made captain, irrespective of that story anyway, Alisson. So I think the club have kind of accepted that in life, people sometimes do wrong, and they're forgivable and they move on. And that's it, really, Alisson. As a professional, he's great. I don't know. It happens in life. Shit happens, isn't it? What can I say? And it's happened, and hopefully he doesn't do that kind of thing again. I mean, I've got a cat myself. I didn't see the video. I didn't want to see the video, and a lot of shit goes on, and hopefully he's learned, moved on, and the club have trusted. I think Moyes is quite strict in that kind of thing, so he's. But the thing is, we've got a lot of captains now. I mean, Ward-Prowse is in time will be good kind of for that, and I think we've got good lads in the dressing room. That's the thing, I think. So for now, I think he'll keep the band. He is injury prone. I hope it doesn't happen. I think. I don't know. But when he goes down, it's like the ball's not involved. He's like he's kind of jumping on someone's back, and he's like, oh god.
He went down again today, later on in the second half, and I thought, fuck it, he's finished. I said to the missus, I was like, this geezer goes down at least once every game, and then he gets up after. It's like, you can't do that, right? And if you
I know.
why are you playing for it? Why are you starting every game? But
yeah,
I think
Tommy
Zuma keeping the armband is a great shout, because he is a leader in himself. I always think that a defender should be one of your captains, your main captain.
Yeah, centre
We've
back.
got,
Yeah, or centre mid.
yeah,
Centre back. Centre mid. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
centre back for me because
We had Scotty Parker
other than,
back in our time, weren't we?
other
Or
than the
Dix.
goalkeeper,
Yeah.
you've got the best view on the pitch other than the goalkeeper. So you're able to see what's going on around you and the full length of the pitch. So you're able to
That's
distribute.
why. That's why I don't like goalkeepers captains, and I don't like Harry Kane captain. I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. I don't know what the fuck he's saying in the dressing room anyway. I'm just being a cunt, but. But anyway, he couldn't motivate me to do anything, mate. But anyway, listen.
About Harry Kane, right? Did you see when he went to Bayern Munich?
Oh, mate.
And he ran up to the ref with a couple of other players as if he was going to moan, and then he stopped. He was like, "Hold on a minute, I don't know German."
You got to stop watching those games, mate. He's gone. He's gone in the tunnel. He's gone in the wind. The boy. He's out. He's one of our own. Fucking oh, mate. Where are we going with this? Tommy, hope you're doing good. So Tommy didn't see the game, mate. It was Tommy. To be fair, what it was Luton's first home game, and the crowd are well up for it, and they started well with a lot of respect. They kept possession. Then towards the second half of the first half, we got more and more into it. We were all right. I mean, listen, there's a few things at the back. I think Agard is a worry, Tommy. I think he made a couple of mistakes in terms... Same thing again, hesitation, losing the ball, misunderstanding between him, Zuma, and Areola, which is down to Agard, nothing to do with Zuma or Areola. They all speak the same lingo. And that was a bit of a worry for me.
I see it the other way, Jay. As a goalkeeper, you should be claiming that. That's approaching your 6-yard box. You should not be on your line. You anticipate that.
I think that's maybe for room for improvement, like coming out, he's built. But Tommy, I mean, we got over the line because we kind of had a quality in terms of finishing. Alvarez, superb. Yeah. We know our limitations at full back. We did the best we could. Antonio was nowhere near the previous 2 games in terms of chances and scoring. He just did a bit of work for the team, like Ginger's saying. But
he wasn't able to get into them strikers' positions. He was the link-up man today, and I thought he had a very different type of game, different role to do today. But I thought Antonio was quite good.
I think everyone is good. The people that stick out, because you know what I'm like, I always have a go. I think Benrahma and Agard need to think about a few things. Benrahma's finishing needs to be improved on. Got himself into a couple of positions, didn't do nothing with the shots. Agard, mate, like he started this season, is worrying me a lot in terms of he's making big mistakes and it hasn't ended in a goal. But if you watch the highlights, Tommy, you'll see that they could have easily got 1 or 2 in. So it's just a case of but I'll take it, mate, because it used to happen to us, isn't it, Ginger? I shouldn't take it too seriously. It happens. They're going to get a chance. I just get so anal about when they get a chance and I start jumping up and down. I think I need to calm down on that and just say we got the win, we done it. That's it, mate. Yeah.
It's unfortunate that they couldn't get any shots on target other than the one they scored. They had more shots overall than us. So it was going to be a worry. It was always going to be a worry. But we're lucky that they couldn't hit the target.
Do you know anything about this Maatsen, left back at Chelsea? Maatsen, who Burnley wanted. He wanted to come to West Ham. He's worth 31 million. I don't know nothing about him, mate. Maatsen.
No, I don't really know enough about him, but I know we were rumoured to get him. But again, it's another one of them. If you're Chelsea and you're shipping out yet another player that you recently got in the recent 12, 24 months, then what does that say? Considering Chelsea have been very poor.
I'll tell you what, Alison, about anyone knowing I dodgy stick, I've got every game live anyway, so I don't bother what channel it's on. But no one knows that. But you're right.
Not surprised. You've got your fingers in many pies.
I have been a Sky member for 22 years, and then in lockdown, especially with listen, we go Tesco's, Ginger. Oh my God, I can't believe how expensive it is to live.
You're up.
No, well, I used to in lockdown, but I've just been honest. But no, mate, it's shit. It shocks you every time we go in. Like something that was £1, A year ago, it's £2 nearly and stuff
Yeah.
like. It's just mad, mate. It's mad.
And you can't get a deal nowadays unless you've got a club card.
I tell you what, meal deal. I'm shocked by meal deal because it's really good value. That's. Oh, okay. Oh, it's gone up.
Yeah, it's gone up. It's like I think it's 450 if you've got a club card and a fiver normal
Get a
price.
club card, Ginge. Get a club card.
I've got one.
So you're right then. So, because thing is, like, like sometimes, what I'm like when I got a hangover, like that blue drink, the sports drink. What do you call it?
What one?
The blue colour one.
Powerade?
Yeah. And
Other,
that's
dr-
on its own is a couple of quid, but if you get a meal deal, that's all right, isn't it?
other drinks are available though.
No, I don't drink Monster and all them lot. Forget that, mate. Probably do
Mate,
my
to
head
be
with it.
fair, with the amount that Monster's gone up, I think you're paying like £2 for them nowadays. And again, like you said, if you're gonna get a sandwich and a bag of crisps and a drink, you might as well get the high end. Like with Tesco's, other supermarkets are available. But if you go to Tesco's and get a meal deal, you're better off. Like, you can get the small Red Bull, the medium Red Bull, or the big Red
No,
Bull.
no, no. I don't
You
think
can get the
I don't
big Red
want
Bull
any of my
for cheap.
mates drinking Red Bull. I don't think it's good for you. No, it's
No,
just
no, I'm just saying, like,
too many naughty
in
things in
terms
there. I think.
in terms of value wise, who's going to go in there and get a small Red Bull if you can get a large Red Bull? You know what I mean? So it's the same for anything. If you can get a bigger drink,
I think you get. I think you can buy the. It's like a 3-course meal. You could get the fruit as a starter, a nice sandwich or roll, and then what? Yeah,
no,
I think
I
it's
think
all
you
right.
get fruit as your snack. So
Or carrots and that little dip, whatever, isn't it? Yeah.
you get a roll, pasta, or sandwich, or a wrap, and then you can get crisps, chocolate, or fruit as your snack. And then you can get anything from the small bottles of like Tropicana, orange juice,
Yeah, all that
orange
stuff.
stuff
Sushi,
like that.
mate, all the way. Tommy,
Oh yeah,
I
sushi as
forgot to
well.
tell. I forgot to tell Tommy how good Alvarez was, mate. 86 minute, Tommy. Great tackle, so good that we all panicked and thought it was a penalty, and the referee pointed towards us somewhere like the spot, and we were like going mad like the players. But Alvarez, what I like about him, he's always wants to tackle. He doesn't shy away from it, isn't it? He's always trying to put his foot in, and sometimes it'll go wrong. I get it. He's going to give away a dodgy free kick, but Alvarez for me, and he's quite vocal already. His third, fourth game, he's pointing fingers already. Ginger, I like that.
Yeah.
He's like,
But it
I don't
just
know how good
shows
his English is. Yeah,
it just shows that his knowledge of football is very good because he was able to turn around to players after not being there for very long and telling them what they should be doing. That's a sign of that's an early sign of leadership qualities, football knowledge, and not being scared of opening your mouth and
yeah. So Tommy,
telling
he's
people
a
what to do.
proper out and out CDM, which I love. I don't like the other poncing about bit. Get your job done first, which is win the ball back, stick your foot in, have that physical presence, and I think he's got that in him. So that's. I think we've got a good one there, mate. I think we've got a good one, and I think Arsenal. One or two were after him, but it's just a case of some teams didn't have the squad numbers or the budget they focused. But he was certainly on the list of a lot of the top clubs there. Alison is saying, how do you think Creswell... Listen, I saw him sitting in the bench and his hair looks slick, extra slick. And what it is with people like Antonio and Cressy, when they're 32, 33, it's just the way the world is, Alison. Money, it's just they want that final 3-year contract. And for me... we can't have Creswell playing in our team, surely. He's got nothing to offer apart from the odd corner free kick. Because the thing with Cressy, and I've said it time and time again on my channel, if there's a winger running at you, you don't want to know. So our wingers have to do a lot more defensive work. And my son said that. Why Felipe Anderson flopped? It's because of Cressy a lot of the time. He'd had no protection, and he just lost confidence. And if you're playing on the same side as Cressy and you're attacking, you're gonna like, what shall I do? Because he's just gonna lose it. He's got no pace. He did really well in lockdown as one of the centre backs on the left side when we played the wing backs. But apart from that, flat back for Cressy, especially what happened in the Europa 2 years ago. Yeah, I was really, really unhappy about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. But for me, Creswell, nah, shouldn't really be anywhere near starting team West Ham. I'm surprised he's still there, but I think sooner or later, mate, he's going to be gone, isn't he, mate? What do you think? 8 years he's been with us?
It's crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like 9 years, I think. Um, I think it'll be like a squad player just to give Emerson a rest because there's no one else there you can play unless you turn to the youngsters. So he'll be there to do the cup games maybe.
I think it's changing, and I think Moyes is slowly, stubbornly, it gets changing. So, Cressy ain't going to
Yeah,
get no. I could be wrong. I don't think Suchek's going to be starting a lot now.
yeah. We've got
Some of,
Pedro, Dudek, your favourite mate coming
yeah,
in. Maybe
Fornells, Fornells. Some of his favourites are not quite going to get as many games. Um, what do you think about technical director? How much effect he's had, mate? Stedner and all them, him flying about and all that.
I think obviously at the start with all the rumours and the reports that there was disagreements in the back room with him and Moisey. Moisey wanted older Premier League proven players. Stighton and Noble both wanted, or both certainly wanted to push for the new style of young, fresh European players. It's exciting. It sounds exciting. It's going to be more of a gamble than getting proven Premier League players. But then Moyes picking 28-year-olds to sign is like you're only signing for now for the next year or two. Whereas Brighton's thinking of the future, and I think eventually they found some common ground, and they've made some. I think we've identified and made some great signings. He went out to Amsterdam to look at Kudos, got that one over the line. He was straight back up to South America and Brazil to look at the Brazilian guy, the young Brazilian guy, which we never got over the line. But I think he's done all right. And it's his first proper window. Give him a bit more time, see how he fares up, see how the balls take to him, see how Moyes takes to him. Now that he's got these players in, was it the big question is, was it Stighton solely that identified them? If it was, Moyes can now go, do you know what? I can trust his judgment, so I'll listen to him a bit more. I'll respect his decisions. Maybe Moyes wants to go out and take a look himself. But I think if Moyes now knows that Stighton's identified these new players like Kudos and Alvarez, then I think that obviously he's got some sort of knowledge in European
I
football. So
I think
Moyes
some of the
has to trust him.
signings. I think some of the signings have said that he's played a major role in explaining, which I think Moyes is not good at. Because I heard Moyes' attitude used to be, I don't want to sell the club to the player. So he wants to come, he should know that. So he's a bit naughty like that. And we lost a few players because of that. Whereas I always keep telling people that, going back to John Lyle, a lot of players like Phil Parks, Ray Stewart, David Cross, they didn't want to sign for West Ham because of West Ham. It was kind of geography, moving to a different area and the pressure playing for West Ham. David Cross always mentions they always played for small clubs. I mean, technically with respect, like West Brom, and he goes, West Ham was a big club in London, and they weren't sure like Parks, but when John Lyle took him into the room, like Mark Ward as well, he goes, can't wait to die for this guy. So and Moisey, we can't all be perfect. I could be wrong, but what I've heard is that David Moyes isn't good at influence, bringing players in the room. So that's where this guy, I think Kudos mentioned it. Someone mentioned him saying, because Kudos is a lot of clubs after him, but he
Yeah.
explained where West Ham are going, what direction, the age, and that kind of. So I think he's doing two jobs here. He's not only just flying out there, but he's actually
Well, I think
explaining. Hmm.
with Noble being there, it helps because Stighton, I don't think he's knowledgeable enough on West Ham to sell it to him. I think he's got a good sales pitch from a business point of view and to get him into a club. But Noble's a man that will sell the club to a player because he is Mr. West Ham. He knows what it's like. He's a fan first and foremost. He's played his whole career at West Ham, and he is the one that's gonna
But is there danger? There's too many people involved in the process, and Noble might be
no,
ignored. There's too
no,
many
no,
people. No.
they've all got different attributes, so it makes a good. It'd be different if there was too many Chiefs, not enough Indians, and too many similar characters.
No, that's
I think
hard because India's got the second biggest population. That's hard. Boom, boom. Anyway,
I knew you were going to come out with something, but I think
fucking everywhere. Anyway, yeah.
if you've got too many similar-minded people in your establishment doing the same thing or
Anyway, before anyone has a go in the chat, my parents are from India as well. I'm not being naughty like that. I'm just like I like to have a laugh about everyone, including myself, before anyone says anything. Um, um, I lost my bearings now. Oh, Cressy, yeah. Tommy's mentioning Cressy. Definitely, mate. Sam Allardyce bought him from Ipswich. Really good. Got into the England squad a couple of times. If I'm Liverpool were looking at him, I think. Then that is that injury, mate, Ginge. That injury not being the same, isn't it, mate? I don't know why.
No, of course not. No. And it happens to all players. Lanzini, it happened to, and it's not just us. It happens to loads of different players from different teams. They get a big injury like that, and they're either scared to go full-hearted into challenges, or they've got it in the back of their mind, which plays a big mental, psychological game in your own heads.
Yeah.
Into football. So it can be an hard thing to do coming back from an injury.
Allison, I can say with confidence, Souček, he can't. Who are you going to drop from today? I think it looked to, there's a lot of things, few things wrong, but who would you drop for Souček?
Let's just go through them. So the starting midfielders, you've got Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and Paqueta. Then you've got
Kudos has to come in from Ben Rama for me, mate, and that's it. I think because we haven't got strikers. Antonio, carry on, mate.
Yeah, and then you've got Kudos there. You've got Ben Rama, you've got Cornet, you've got Bowen, Fornals. There's no, unless Souček is going to cover at centre back. There's nothing really. He can't, unless God forbid, we get a serious injury or a couple of injuries in the midfield area. I can't see him getting replaced. But I don't want to shit on him too much because
no. He's a great He's a great human being, a great person in the room. We got the Carabao Cup coming up. We got Europa coming up, and all kinds of things. David Moyes, use a sub. He can have 20 minutes. And listen, I don't want to sell him. He's got to improve on his finishing because he had a couple of good chances in the league and he's totally fluffed them up.
But to be fair, with Souček though, even in the league though, Daz, he's looked a lot better now Rice has gone. I think Rice sort of, you think when he was first in, he was the one that was going forward. Rice would sit. Then I don't know who made the decision.
Yeah, but let me stop you there. So what he brought to us at the beginning were 10 goals a season. That's dried up. Yeah. And I didn't see that. I haven't seen because he's been in a position to do something, and his finishing has been awful. Whether it's an open goal and the header's gone above the bar, a couple of times, things like that. That's not been good. One thing he ain't, which I get pissed off about, and that's why I used to like Rice, is he doesn't put his foot in. He doesn't intercept play like Alvarez. He doesn't like a tackle. But what he does do, which is kind of confusing to people, he just runs and runs and runs, and you're thinking.
He does all the doggy work.
But he doesn't put the tackle in or stop incisive passing. He doesn't. What do you all see him? Just keep doing that. Just keep doing that for 90 minutes. And I'm like, you're not really done anything.
As a player that's played at a good level, a lot of people fail to recognise if the things that players do off the ball can be just as important as on the ball. And players like Souček, now rightfully so, he's got a lot of stick because he has been so poor. But on the contrary of that, there's been times where he's gone so much under the radar, it's unreal. I've watched him do you remember when Sky Sports used to do player cam? I used to watch him or try and watch him just like that and see if he was really that bad. And sometimes he was. And there was a lot of the times where he'd go unnoticed under the radar, and he would do a lot of the doggy work. And he would, yes, he'd run and run and run, and you think he's just running like an headless chicken, doing nothing. But he's pressing, he's chasing back. He's not gifted.
No, but that's it, chasing and running. But he's not tackling anyone or winning the ball back like Rice used to. You could notice Rice like really important interceptions. I don't know. I think it's the goals that he could offer, and they've dried up. He's got a new contract, so he ain't going anywhere. So someone likes him, and yeah, he's a good lad to have around, I think.
The response to his goals have dried up is the fact that when we first got him, he was the one advancing forward and Rice would sit back. Then someone at the club had told him to swap. Now, you can't have Souček sitting back, not on his own. You can't really have him sitting back with someone else unless there was someone of a world-class calibre to sit with him. Now, they wanted to push Rice on to see what he had and to add goals into his game. I think it's the wrong decision. As soon as they moved them back, like the latter end of last season, they sort of switched them back, went back to the old Moyes style playing, and the counter-attacking football, sit back, soak up the pressure, break, and that's where we got our success in the latter stages of last season to get us out of a relegation, potential relegation.
Yeah.
Rice and Souček reverted back to their old roles.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you're right.
You are seeing a bit more of the older Souček coming through.
No, I ain't seen it. No, not for me. I think he had two good chances. He needs to score. For me, his strength is scoring. Like Payet. What's that guy at Chelsea? What's his name? That Uruguayan used to play at Chelsea, didn't he? Like get the odd goal in. Gus Poyet. You know, his son played for us as well. Yeah. I think Souček's got to score goals. Otherwise, he's not going to be in the team.
He's not a goal scorer, really. He's an aerial threat goal scorer. He can't even make a 5-yard pass. So I don't trust him to control.
No. He's in the area, but they're not going in. He's missing.
We all know that he can't use his feet.
No. I'm talking about headers 3 yards out. They're going over the bar, mate. And like, what the fuck are you doing? But anyway, Tommy's saying, Tommy, you're bang on. You didn't even see the game. That's what it was. I mean, I know Ginge says, yeah, I agree with him. Sky sometimes, like, I don't know, some of the apps I use, what we're doing, what the formation looks like. That's what Sky showed it as, Tommy. 4-1-4-1. That's what they said. Like Alvarez is the one, and then Antonia's up front by himself. So bang on. Alisson's back. We're going to close off soon anyway, before my eyes close. We all know that Souček is... No, Alisson, I can't see Souček's... There's no room. You see today, Kudus has got to replace Benrahma, because Benrahma is... Yeah, he's a sub anyway. And no, Paqueta's going to stay. Alvarez is going to stay. Do you agree, Ginger? I can't see Souček or Benrahma going forward a lot, mate. It's my gut instinct, mate, and... Just the way I feel, mate. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't start Souček with the midfielders that we've got. Like I said, unless we get some horrendous injury list where we've got no one else but to start in the midfield, he can't get in front of those.
But they're good lads. I mean, Benrahma's a good lad. Souček's a good lad. And as we grow,
because last year when we were shit, Benrahma was our most active player. He was the one that was trying to drive the team, and he was better than Bowen last year in the first half of the season, better than Antonio, better than any midfielder. He was our better player, and had he had gone on, he probably would have won Hammer of the Year. He should have got Hammer of the Year, but we all know why Rice got it, because he dragged us through the extra few games. It was his last season, so they gave him it as well. And he lifted the European Cup. But I think Benrahma I think he's more of an impact sub.
Who do you think's our penalty taker now? Because Ward-Prowse has joined. Who's going to be a penalty taker next? Because we've got Paqueta, we've got Ward-Prowse.
Benrahma is.
Yeah, until he goes through. Yeah.
Yeah, and if he's not on the pitch, then there's a big debate. You can have Paqueta. If Benrahma's not on the pitch, you have Paqueta. But if Benrahma's on the pitch, he hasn't missed a penalty. Don't change. If it's not broke, don't fix it. we went through
Yeah,
to
it was weird against Chelsea. Two of them went on the pitch, so Paqueta took it all right. Yeah, lucky we got
exactly.
three of them then. Yeah.
Yeah, if he's on the pitch, then Ben Rama's the one to take the penalties. If he's not, then it's Paqueta. And if
Yeah.
he's not able to take it, then fuck knows.
But anyway, we're going to close down now. So my final comments are: it hasn't been many times in my life, probably the second, third time we're top of the league. I didn't think this was going to happen because we weren't buying anyone till very late, and they looked all over the place, and there were rumours that Moyes was going to be sacked and all that kind of things. But football's a funny old game, life's a funny old game, and yeah, 10 points. Should have been 30, 12, greedy, Bournemouth. We were 1-0 up till we sat back, but listen, it's a good start. Yeah, again, being extra greedy, could have bought a couple of extra bodies in. But then the flip side of it is we've got more money in the kitty. I think we've got about 20, 30 million left in the kitty for January, which is kind of good. Europa draw, didn't go into that too much with Ginge, but I think it's okay. I think the draw's okay. Olympiacos, it's tough. Freiburg, Germany, it's tough. We've got a Serbian team. My son was saying it's quite tough to travel out there, isn't it?
We should, on paper, you say we should top it.
Yeah, why not? I didn't have any reservations of who we got. I wasn't scared of anyone, to be fair, the run we've been on. And then it's a knockout after that, and then top two go through. And then, yeah, just enjoy it. The first game's not until September, second, third week.
We've got the drop down from Champions League as well to come in.
Well, that's what my son was saying. He goes, why Sevilla? What Sevilla keep doing is they keep qualifying for Champions League, dropping down, they keep winning. But Liverpool, Brighton, for me, because I think the Premier League is so strong. I'm not afraid of anyone outside our country, our league. Brighton is tricky. Liverpool's tricky. Liverpool, God knows what. Maybe Brighton will draw Liverpool and Brighton knock them out and we knock it. It's where it happens sometimes. We don't know. But like you said, we're in Europe, third season in a row, I think, and we're enjoying it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, isn't it, mate? We'll see how it goes. But I think a lot to look forward to. We can relax. We've got the whole weekend off. I like this Friday evening game thing where you got the whole weekend still to enjoy. We're top of the table. At worst, we'll finish third or fourth at the end of the fixtures. Arsenal, Man United, interesting game to watch, isn't it, mate? Over the weekend, I think. Yep. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, Man United. Yeah, I don't know Arsenal anyway, mate. What about you? Doing anything for the weekend?
I'm going to the theatre tomorrow to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with the in-laws and the kids.
What's this? The actual stage? The show? Is it all?
In Southampton, in the theatre.
Oh, okay, wicked. We're
going over there tomorrow.
Cool.
We're taking her and the kids, and then just probably chilling out and watching football.
Brilliant. Anyway, thanks for coming on. 2 hours, 13 minutes. Tommy's jumped in. Great. Thanks to all of you guys. We'll carry on. I might do another review show tomorrow of the window and things like that. But cheers, Gingy. Good to see you back, mate. All you need is a turban now with that beard, and you'll be one of us.
It's got to come off. My brother's wedding next week.
Actually, you need a Harley Davidson, don't you? You need a Harley Davidson, I think. Bit more.
I got the brush earlier and I started brushing it all out. Look like Uncle Albert.
I've been watching him last couple of days, my man. You take care. Have a lovely day, and we'll catch up. We need to do a catch up in East London, you and Steve, and then we do a little.
I'm back up next weekend.
For how many days? Or
so I'm coming up on the Thursday. The wedding's on the Saturday, and I'm going home on the Monday.
No, but how long will he be in East End? How long?
From Thursday to Monday. But I've got a wedding on Saturday.
Let's wait for the wedding to
yeah. We can do it in advance. Let me know.
No. Let the wedding happen, and then when you're back in East End for about a week, we'll grab a week. We'll do shooting in the Berlin. We'll treat you to pie and mash and booze, and I might even get a hotel for the night. We do a proper piss up show, mate. That's the best. Take care, everyone. Thanks everyone for joining in.
European champion and top of the league. European
Oh
champion.
mate,
He's
I've been
got
looking at that
the
on the club website today at all the printed photos, and looks good. Looks good. I've got to frame my orange shirt, the dreaded orange shirt. The family say look bad on me, but I've got to frame it. But we'll see how that goes. But
take it,
thanks to
take it
everyone
to
for joining in. Huh?
take it to the training ground and get the squad to sign it.
I know they're beginning to do that. A few of the people on Facebook managed to kind of stop a few. I know not all of them stop. Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to
Don't
take my
know.
card there. I've got it signed on the parade by Anton Ferdinand. Where I won the game.
Oh,
So I want to take it to the training ground and get him to sign it and pin that up on the wall.
yeah. Why not? Why not? And I might get the replica medal as well. That looks good. I'm working
Yeah,
on a plan at the moment.
it does look
Working
good.
on a plan. Yeah. But anyway, you have a good night. I got some leftover fish and chips and butter chicken to look at tonight, and then I'll watch the highlights again. Interview David Moyes again. Enjoy it and just carry on, mate. Got the weekend off.
Don't
But
forget
God
your
bless. Thanks a lot,
champagne.
mate. You take care. Yeah.
Don't forget your
Thank you, everyone in
champagne.
the chat. Thanks a lot. Come on, you irons. Top of the league. We are massive.